Friday evening. Welcome to another night of high school football right here on Radio Free Cabarrus. John Von Cannon joined by Chris Hudson, and I guess they like us so much here. They said, come on, let's do another game here at Harrisburg High School, or Hickory Ridge High School in Harrisburg, North Carolina, where they welcomed the Rocky River Ravens. It was kind of confusing coming down Old Charlotte Highway because I saw Rocky River Elementary coming in, so I guess they're all along the Rocky River here. But it's another conference matchup, Chris, and certainly if you're Hickory Ridge, you're off to a great start. 6-0, but the competition starts getting a little stiffer from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, John, you're correct on that. There is a lot of schools around this area, but this will be my first look ever at Rocky River High School. I've known a couple kids that went to school there, never really watched them play. But what you say here is Hickory Ridge is going to get tested tonight. This is a true 4A power over in Mecklenburg County. Rocky River, from what I've read on, they got a tremendous defense that likes to get after the quarterback and turn everything back inside to the big aggressive linebackers, and they fly to the football. So Hickory Ridge is going to have to work cut out. But Coach Seidel also has a big, potent offense with big offensive linemen and a very experienced quarterback, probably one of the best quarterbacks in the state of North Carolina. And, John, I think this is going to be a good old-fashioned country ballroom fight tonight.
Yeah, well, and then don't forget defense on the Hickory Ridge side.
Yes,
not so bad themselves. Yeah. So, Coach Seidel was good enough to send us a few stats earlier in the week, and it's pretty amazing, how the continuity from last year, losing a fair number of defensive linemen, but the Connor Helms and all those guys coming on through and still doing very well.
Yeah, I mean, Hickory Ridge defense, they're probably not giving up double digits in points all year, on average. And then they got these three big line receivers out here that they can go to at any time. Plus, they're starting to develop a two-headed attack without, the main running back being in. So, when he gets back, man, that's going to make Hickory Ridge that much better.
Yeah, and they'll need them against some of the, we're still, Rocky River is 1-6, so they are struggling a little bit this year, but some of those losses have been fairly close, could easily have gone the other way. We're on the pregame show, according to our big red numerals to our right on the scoreboard, just over 27 minutes before we get towards kickoff, and that gives Chris and I times to look at some games that are, one game last night, pretty good matchup between New England and Tampa Bay, and more games coming up. Of course, the Panthers on the road against Detroit. The Lions should be a good matchup as well. So we'll look at that and a lot more. It's on the pregame show. Again, we're at Hickory Ridge High School hosting the Rocky River Ravens, and you're listening to Radio Free Cabarrus. And as Mark Plemons says, I've been saying it wrong, it's the Cube. There we go. We'll get it right there as we head to break.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinot.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinot.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinot.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy, with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
The Renaissance Festival is back! October 1st through November 20th. A medieval amusement park. A 12-stage theater. Odds, crafts, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at renfestinfo.com.
No one does high school sports coverage like Mark Clemens and John Von Cannon, and it's right here on your hometown station, RadioFreeCabarrus.com.
And on the pregame shows, we're at Hickory Ridge High School, the Ragin Bulls going back towards their locker room. Rocky River continues to warm up. The band about ready to come out and do a fantastic job. We got a pretty good-sized band here at Hickory Ridge High School. This is, as Chris mentioned, a 4A matchup, so we'll see how the Ragin Bulls do as they get into the season, but doing very well so far at 6-0. So, Chris, as always, we take a look at we'll start with the college games as per usual. And I tell you, I completely missed this score just looking through my bits from last night. The Battle of the Reds last night. NC State, I hate to say it, but not a bad team there in Raleigh. And they upended Louisville 39-25.
Good job, NC State. I didn't even know they was playing.
So, in Louisville, of course, was ranked in there. NC State had just been ranked for the first time in several years. So, they're getting it all together. Unfortunately, our Heels are on the flip side of that equation. A lot of injuries, a lot of youth. They're taking on Notre Dame, who's only lost one time. Tar Heels got pasted pretty good by Georgia Tech down in Atlanta. That was last Saturday, and so they're set for a 3:30 kickoff from Kenan Stadium. Wake Forest came so close to taking out the Florida State Seminoles, just losing at the end there. And then, this is almost unfair. They got to go to Clemson now, and Clemson, it's just. It's kind of like the NBA. We've had Golden State and Cleveland for 3 straight years, or we're going to have Alabama and Clemson for a 3rd straight year.
I think you can go ahead and put the national championship game with those two in it. It's those two and everybody else.
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting how that's happened. Clearly Alabama. No one's coming close. The SEC is not that great outside of Alabama, but they're just so dominant. And that Lee, the conventional wisdom was for so many years that the SEC teams would beat up on each other, and you have this kind of group at the top, and then the group that's not so great. But Alabama's risen above all of that in the last decade or so.
Yeah, you're right, and I think the ACC slowly catching them. With the powers, with Louisville and Clemson, and now NC State, Florida State, those guys. And you can't forget Virginia Tech either.
Yeah, or Virginia, by the way,
who
went on the road and won a week ago. They're hosting the Duke Blue Devils, each team with 1 loss, so pretty key matchup there. From Charlottesville, Pitt's on the road against Syracuse. Miami still unbeaten on the road against Florida State. Now, this could be very interesting as, can Miami continue their unbeaten season against a struggling team? Virginia Tech at 4-1 on the road against Boston College. Let's flip on over, and we'll see what the top 25 matchups are as Iowa State against Oklahoma. Oklahoma, first year without Coach Stoops, they're 4-0 and rolling along pretty good. Right behind them, Penn State at 5-0, and they're favored by 2 touchdowns. Ranked number 4, favored by 2 touchdowns over Northwestern, followed by Georgia, who's at number 5. They're on the road against Vanderbilt. So kind of got that group of teams that, we talk Clemson, Alabama, but that group's saying, can we break into that group? I know we're still early October, but certainly all those teams, particularly Penn State, haven't seen them a couple times. Could be interesting.
Yeah, but I think out of those two, I think Georgia may be the better team out of those two. But it's been a while since Georgia's been ranked that high, hasn't it?
Yeah, certainly they've always been in the top 25, and, new coach for them. So, maybe he's the guy to get them to the next level. We shall see. Mississippi against Auburn. Auburn only 1 loss. LSU against Florida. West Virginia against Texas Christian, another top 25 matchup. The Horned Frogs.
The Horny Frogs.
Yeah.
No, that's what they call them.
Easy. 4-0. Do we want another? Anyway, moving on.
No, that ain't going to happen.
Maryland against Ohio State. Ohio State 4-1. I still can't get used to seeing Maryland in the Big Ten. Oregon State against Southern Cal. Southern Cal took it on the chin. What was it, against Washington a while back. Speaking of Alabama, they're on the road against Texas A&M. A few years ago, this was a good matchup when Johnny Manziel was the QB, but Alabama favored by a mere 25 and a half points there.
Are they going to give them a half?
Yeah, half.
Take it easy on them.
25.5. Michigan State against Michigan, a good early season rivalry there. Michigan at 4-0. Wisconsin has won a couple close games. They're 4-0 against Nebraska. Washington State, as the Cougars are 5-0. They're taking on Oregon. That's an evening matchup. Central Florida, maybe that mid-major team, the non-Power 5 team. They're at 3-0. And the other thing that's happening with the Florida schools, of course, is they missed a game due to the hurricane passing through. So now they got, them and Miami and Florida State all got several games in a row to catch up with.
Yeah, but I'm glad they missed them so that nobody get hurt. But, I've seen Maryland play a couple times, John. I really like their defense. I think they're going to give, Ohio State a little bit of a problem.
If Ohio State shows up at all, I just don't. That's never been a good matchup, even when Maryland's, and they've had some pretty good teams the last couple of years. Ohio State just runs over them like crazy. The two newcomers, I wonder about Rutgers in particular. Why are they in the Big Ten? And Maryland at times, their other sports are very, very good. Football has been, average, and they've struggled a little bit against, the better teams, but most teams do. Another team, here you go, San Diego State, the Aztecs, they're 5-0. Late matchup against UNLV. Utah at 4-0, hosting Stanford. That is a Pac-12 matchup. See, all these new conferences, it gets you. And Washington, not to be outdone from a year ago, once again 5-0. So they're hosting Cal, and that's another Pac-12 matchup. Okay, let me flip. I'm using my phone today as opposed to my tablet, so let's see if I know how to do this. Okay, so last night's game in the NFL, New England holds on against Tampa, and that was without Gronkowski, and certainly New England's defense, which had been much maligned, they had a pretty good effort.
What's wrong with Gronk? I didn't hear. Did he play against the Panthers?
He was not hurt against the Panthers, supposedly, but something happened this week in practice.
Yeah, and New England, took it on the chin against the Panthers. The Panthers come back and beat them, but, they go up in Foxborough and do something that not many teams can do is beat New England. And, New England held on against Tampa, and Tampa's supposed to be the upstart in the division that the Panthers is in, but I still think Jameis Winston needs to prove himself a little bit more.
Well, and he's still young, so he's had some good games and some not so good games. So they had an interesting graphic on CBS last night when Tom Brady won his first championship. Winston was only 8 years old.
Wow!
So there you go. That tells you, well, of course, how young Winston is and how long Brady's been, and they're the future Hall of Famer there. And then the Panthers against Detroit. I tell you, Detroit, they're 3-1, and maybe they're getting rid of some of the bugaboos from past years.
Yeah, that could be a trap game for the Panthers, John. It really could. But if the Panthers play defense the way they're capable of and just get half of their offense going, they're going to be unstoppable, as the season goes on. I hate to say it, but they've got a really good defense.
Yeah, and, again, get the offensive guys in gear. And, with Olsen out, we'll see. But so that's the 1 o'clock kickoff from up at Ford Field in Detroit. Look at some of the late matchups. The battle of the winless teams, the Chargers against the Giants. 0-4, that'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff. And another thing, I keep saying the Meadowlands. That's some years ago up there. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. It looks like it's time for our national anthem, so we will step aside as more to come. You're listening to Radio Free Cabarrus and The Cube. And it's right here coming up kickoff in about 16 minutes.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinded.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Launch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
The Renaissance Festival is back! October 1st through November 20th. The Medieval Amusement Park. A 12-stage theater. Odds, crafts, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at renfestinfo.com.
No one does high school sports coverage like Mark Clemens and John Von Cannon, and it's right here on your hometown station. RadioFreeCabarrus.com.
And another beautiful night for high school football, a little on the warm side, and looks like we'll get ahead of the rains coming from the passing of possibly a hurricane. We're not sure what we're going to get, but nothing like what we had a few weeks ago. It's kind of funny. We haven't had any rain since that little brush with the hurricane. Certainly we got a lot better than a while ago. All right, Chris, let's real quick finish up with some Sunday afternoon matchups, the big one being Green Bay and Dallas. That's a 4:25 kickoff from Dallas there, and everybody remembers the big playoff matchup a year ago. Had a great catch near the end of the game that saved the game for Green Bay, and Packers at 3-1. Dallas struggling a little bit, 2-2, took it on the chin against the Rams, and so still a lot of youth to get through for, of course, Prescott and Elliott both in their second years.
Yeah, Dallas is struggling. They got a lot of youth, but they're still going to be really good. As being a Redskin fan, they couldn't have a nicer group.
There you go.
But I think Dallas will pull that one out. All
right, should be a good matchup, though. Green Bay and Dallas, you talk about, all the years of great matchups going back to the Ice Bowl in the 60s and all that. It's just a lot of history between those two teams. Also, in the late afternoon matchup, Seattle against the Rams, and that could be a pivotal matchup there. Kansas City against Houston. Kansas City at 4-0. What has Coach Reed done with that group?
He's finally got them drinking the Gatorade, I guess, believing what he's got going on. They look really good.
I always found it ironic, not so much dismissing, what Kaepernick's been through for the past year, but Alex Smith, who was the quarterback that was let go by the 49ers and landed in Kansas City and has done pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven himself as a starting quarterback, John, but, Kansas City's, they've got all the tools you want. They can play on offense. Their offense scores touchdowns for them when they get in the red zone. Their defense gets takeaways and capitalizes on mistakes. Their special teams play well. Their coaches are very good. So I think Kansas City got a shot for a Super Bowl run.
All right. You heard it here first, right? Probably not first. I'm sure in Kansas City they're saying they're hoping for good things as well, obviously.
Just like they do in Cleveland all the time.
And that's, by the way, the Sunday evening matchup. Let me rephrase that. It's an 8:30 kickoff from Houston, who's shown some good moments himself. I mean, what Deshaun Watson has done, by far the best rookie, and certainly as a rookie quarterback, Houston desperately needed him.
Yeah, they did. They needed a quote a savior, but they still got to build around him, John, and get more help and get him some more skilled receivers. I think he's going to turn that program around on that.
Yeah, I mean, he may have already done that. And then the Monday night football matchup, Minnesota against Chicago. Chicago, we'll see our UNC guy Trubisky getting his first start, and that could be interesting. Minnesota usually pretty good defensively.
Yeah, but if you give Trubisky, time, he'll pick you apart. And I think he's got a lot to prove, saying that he shouldn't be drafted as high as he was. And, but I think Chicago's going to win that game. It's going to be close, probably 3-point game.
Yeah, the problem for Chicago is they just don't have a lot of receivers, and it's Trubisky, I expect, will go through his, sort of the rookie, baptism and such, and have some some rough patches like most rookie quarterbacks do. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all. So, about ready to get the captains, it looks like, onto the field. So let's step aside one more time, about a little under 10 minutes away from kickoff, and we'll talk about the game here between the visiting Rocky River Ravens. That kind of has to say that a few times fast, right? And Hickory Ridge Ragin Bulls. It's coming up right after this. Radio Free Cabarrus, and also on the Cube.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinded.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy, with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
The Renaissance Festival is back! October 1st through November 20th. The Medieval Amusement Park. A 12-stage theater. Odds, crafts, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at rinfestinfo.com.
No one does high school sports coverage like Mark Clemens and John Von Cannon, and it's right here on your hometown station, RadioFreeCabarrus.com.
So the captains are coming out, and let's do a real quick double check on who all we have as captains for the respective teams. As everybody turns around, I did see Jarrett Garner come out for the Hickory Ridge team, and we'll get everybody turned around there. That's going to be Zion Barnett, one of the receivers, also a defensive back. Of course, the quarterback, Dylan Ratliff, in there as well. And who's the final guy? Number 30, that's, of course, Cal Wallerstadt, one of the linebackers who's had a great year, had an interception return for a touchdown a week ago. For the Rocky River Ravens, it's Jared Carter, one of their safeties and receivers. And then linemen the rest of the way, Abraham Pearson, Jeremiah Chester, and Shepard Esses. Kind of an interesting choice to put 3 linemen on your maybe make them look opposing,
Yeah, that's probably what they've done. Big number 68 is a big kid for Rocky River.
Yeah, and if we kind of double check, they do have a little bit of size along their line there. So Rocky River comes in having not won a game in the state of North Carolina. They beat Myrtle Beach in a shootout a few weeks ago, so they're 1-6, and the reverse for Hickory Ridge, 6-0. But this is not Hickory Ridge versus Garinger. This is a team that has, in Rocky River, that's had some close losses. They've had some success at times in other years. So, if you're Coach Seidel, you don't want to look past the Ravens here.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, this could be, a trap game for for both of these teams. It could be more of a trap game for Hickory Ridge because they're projected, to beat Rocky River because of the record. But like I said, if Rocky River has the ball bounce a couple times their way, they might be 5 or 6-0. You never know. But I think Hickory Ridge is going to get the true test tonight of what a 4A a big fast 4A high school football game is all about. Because they've had, Garinger, who's down, obviously, but
and Independence, who's
yeah.
down as well.
But you're going to see Rocky River, who's been good over the years. Then you get into your Butlers and, your Myers Parks. This is the gauntlet right here they've got to run, and it starts right here. We're going to see how impressive Hickory Ridge can be tonight.
And then, they're going to have to pass them all more than they did a week ago. They were able to run the ball, get some special teams plays. And, Coach Seidel, in his interview with the newspaper, says, it took a special teams play for, to get us jump-started a week ago. Garrett Williams with some nifty moves running 60 yards.
And you're right. And, again, the Hickory Ridge Ragin Bulls coming through the stands with their coming through the stands here with their fans. But I think, that you and I talked about it, that got them going. You said, I think you said it, is that going to spark that Hickory Ridge needs to get going? And obviously it was.
They did it, yeah. And from there, it was just, great defense, great field position against certainly a very overmatched Garinger team and we'll see. We never quite get to see who wins until the official, always defers. So it looks like they'll go over.
I think Rocky River won. They deferred.
It will defer to Hickory Ridge, so the Ragin Bulls will receive the ball. Let's take one final break here. Back with the kickoff, and glad you're joining us here on Radio Free Cabarrus, and of course also part of the Cube.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle, you estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. Again, shop, click, and drive, BenMinded.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
All right, Hickory Ridge is getting ready to come in through what has now kind of become the standard. You got to have this big blow-up thing, and has lots of smoke coming out. And in this case, we have a lot of pink surrounding it, as a lot of the youngsters involved with the pink for October month here, of course, in observance and awareness for breast cancer. So,
sorry, John. I think those are the youth cheerleaders from the Harrisburg Cowboys Pop Warner team.
There you go. Thank you for finding that out. And the bull starts shaking and rattling and moving all about, and they got a pink tissue paper covering the light pink, that is.
Yeah.
And they're ready to burst through that sucker. Once they get all, I guess you got to get all the pyrotechnics and the smoke going, and the young ladies who you just mentioned there, they're getting into it as well, lined up, and then the band's lined up. Here they come with the American flag and the North Carolina flag. And it's packed once again over here. A few seats to our left, not quite as packed as a week ago, I think, but a good crowd. And a few folks, they did bring a few band members from Rocky River across the way, and they're really not that far away, just off of 480. You can actually see their school from the interstate and the football stadium.
And all they really have to do is come out Rocky River Road, Lower Rocky River Road, hit 49 right there and come right on out.
Other games, as SPC played start tonight, one of our other games, Concord on the road against Cotts Mill. As Concord 3-3, Cottsville 2-4, Kannapolis taking on Central, and J.M. Robinson, Northwest Cabarrus. That's a pretty key matchup there.
That'd be good. And John, before we get started, what Concord had to go through this week with, had one of their JV football players tragically killed in a car accident. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family and all the Concord Spiders and, their staff over there having to deal with this, this close to Christmas and stuff like that.
It's been such a tough week for so many people, and we can mention the tragedy in Las Vegas and all the weather we've had. So certainly, and for this to hit home like this is, it's a hard thing. So definitely want to, send all the best, and moving forward for Concord.
Yeah, and, Coach Padge and those guys have handled it, just like pros. And, you didn't expect any more from, Concord. Just thoughts and prayers out for those guys. It really, really gets, down into the heart when it's a 14, 15-year-old kid.
Rocky River, in a way, whites with black numerals, orange trim, and black and orange pants. And we'll see if we can get the kicker to turn our way. As it should be Anthony Portillo. He's a senior. And Rocky River kicking off from right to left across your radio dial, smartphone, all that good stuff. Here he comes, and it's going to be a squib kick and taken by Hickory Ridge, going across the 50-yard line. Good sure hand shown there by number 42, Tony Black Jr., and it puts Hickory Ridge in fantastic field position, just about a yard into Rocky River territory.
And, John, he was a step from taking that one to the house.
A missed tackle, you're right. You know, he may still be running and going towards the end zone.
I kind of like Rocky River's pants.
They look a little bit like Oklahoma State. If I were to match them up and, you know, like to get kind of college, you know, that would be their thing. Ratliff, and looks like Carey is starting at running back once again. Twins either way. Now Cruz goes to the right side to put three receivers that way. They'll fake it, lay it off to Cruz on the right side. Gets
nice
good
block.
blocking. 45-40. Oh, gets popped at the 40-yard line, but gets right up. And almost a first down there for Cruz as he makes a nice game. That's Logan Cruz, the junior.
Number 2 really laid the wood to him on that one, John.
But Cruz, to his credit, got right up. You don't want the other team to see you pop up, and that was Jalen Wilson making a tough hit.
Yeah, that was, and it was legal too.
Oh, yeah. 8-yard game, we'll call it. 2nd and 2 down to the Raven 40-yard line. Now 2 running backs back there. They'll split out. They'll send them either way. Say, you go that way, Carey. And Cruz went the other way. So empty backfield now for Ratliff. Low snap. Sends it over to the left side. Caught by Cruz. He has the first down and tackled immediately at the 35-yard line. Getting in on the hit is Zion Easterling, a junior. But a first down there.
Yep.
Cruz with his second straight catch.
And, John, I think what Hickory Ridge is trying to do is just throw those little bleeders across the middle, maybe open some things up.
Spread them out and, you know, negate the size that Rocky River has. 3 down linemen for them. And bring out an edge rusher. 1st and 10 inside the 35. As always, Hickory Ridge, they never go to a huddle. Now changing up the play, Carey will move over to the left side with trips that way. Let's see if they toss it out to him. Nope, going to give it up the middle. Now quick toss. Oh, it's a backwards pass. Ball is loose, and it just does roll out of bounds. Oh, tough right there as couldn't quite get to Sheriff. Faked the handoff and threw it backwards. And that's going to be a loss, technically a loss of 5 on a run.
Yep.
Going to make it 2nd and long, about 2nd and 15.
Boy, he's lucky that ball bounced and went out of bounds.
There was a white jersey. If it had been just a step quicker, he might have been running the other way with it. So to the 40-yard line, 2nd and 15 from the left hash. They'll line up that way. Twins either way. Doing option, pitches it out to Carey. Carey in trouble. Oh, he gets undercut. Big loss. Rocky River was not fooled at all, and charging in quickly was Khalil Turner, and throwing Carey for that 6-yard loss on the option pitch there.
All right. Mark, let me know if this works.
So a little, we're going to make sure people can see this, right?
Yeah,
so,
Mark said zoom in just a little bit.
Okay.
Stay under the lights.
Yeah. So 3rd and forever, 3rd and 21 from the 46-yard line. We'll send Sheriff out to the left side. 4 receivers that way.
I'm still a rookie camera operator.
Oh, low snap again. Sending it deep down the right sideline. Garner, and just a step too far down the sideline, right to the 10-yard line. So that's an incomplete, and they'll force Hickory Ridge into a punting situation. So punter will come out, and we really didn't see him at all a week ago, the punting team. But Rocky River holds tight there. Josh Harper is the punter. So they'll try to pin Rocky River deep. They do have 1 man deep, lining up 9 along the line. See if they come up for them. Good snap. They peel back and kicks it straight up and taking it the 9-yard line. Going to the right side, looking for a block. 10-15, has a little bit of room. Gets tripped up, keeps his feet, crosses the 20 out to the 30-yard line. Just keeping his distance. Marquis Lowry did a good job.
Already Cal Wallerstead on the books.
All right, so let's see who the skill position people are for Rocky River. It looks like number 12 is the quarterback, and that's going to be Silas Cruz.
Hey, I got promoted. I'm cameraman now, Mark.
All right,
So
you're number one cameraman. Gives it off to the running back and nothing doing.
Nice defense.
And push backwards, just count the numbers. Although it did kind of get forward for a couple of yards. And that'll be number 5, James May with the carry.
That's number 6, I'm sorry.
Correction, number 6, Gabriel Lennon.
Yeah, Gabriel is the split back, and 5 is out here as the receiver.
Okay, very good. So give him a yard on that handoff of the middle. Rocky River also going to no huddle. 2nd and 9 from the 32-yard line. Gives it off to Lennon and tackle from behind. Nothing doing out there. Doing a nice job and cutting out, getting the tackle is going to be Kiamonte Wally.
Nice play, young man.
So a loss of yard, and that will make it 3rd and 10. But moves it back to the 31-yard line. Needs to get out to the 41-yard line.
We got a timeout here.
Okay. So
who called it?
No indication.
We just lost power.
Check 1, 2. We're on. Oh, I can't. There we go.
Okay.
Couldn't quite hear myself there. I always have to get the.
I thought maybe the tornado was coming. I was ducking.
So if that was a timeout, I think that was just an official's timeout.
Yeah, I think they had to make sure the ball was spotted right in the right location.
So we're back, 3rd and 10 for Rocky River at their 31-yard line. One safety back for Hickory Ridge. Now they back off. Oh, early movement by everybody. All sorts of discombobulation. Looks like that'll be against Rocky River, but we'll hold for the official's call. Yep, it is procedure. So 3rd and 10 becomes a more difficult 3rd and 15. Back to the 26-yard line.
And boy, Coach Darius, the defensive coordinator there, Darius Robinson's really working his defense. He's all up on hollering at every one of them.
Well, you probably saw there what I was looking at. I mean, they've got one man back deep and essentially 5 and 5 up front. Backing off just a little bit on the receivers to the left side.
So, yeah, they're in a nickel package right here, John.
Dropping back, quick toss out to the left, and that was a forward pass, but everybody's still battling, and officials blow the whistle. That was intended for number 5, James May, but it's incomplete for Cruz, and it will be kicking time for Hickory Ridge.
Yeah, Coach Robinson's telling number 6 down here for Hickory Ridge, young man, jump that and take it to the house.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Massey may have had a shot there, although they were playing a bit off, with the 3rd and 15. So back deep is Daniels. And Garrett Williams, the hero from a week ago.
Let's see if he's got it in him again.
Hickory Ridge playing a little bit safe, though. They're almost expecting a fake here. Long count here. No score yet. Good snap. A little bit of a rush, and just does get it off. Ends it up nicely for Williams. He calls for the fair catch and immediately falls forward to the 45-yard line. So that was a pretty nice punt there by Jalen Wilson.
But it was dangerous, though, the way he tried to return it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you call fair catch and, save the field position.
Yep. Just get out of the way.
So, second drive coming up here for Hickory Ridge. They got 1 first down. Looks like they'll empty out the backfield yet again with 4 receivers right, 1 to the left. That's Brooks. Now we'll put 2 backs back there with Carey and Daniels. 1st and 10, we'll call it the 44. And we'll give it off to Carey and hit immediately. I mean, just the front of that line for Rocky River just swarmed them. Count the numbers there, led by Jalen Sharp, and a loss of 3 for Daniels. So 2nd and long coming up here for Hickory Ridge.
Yeah, that stop, I think A.J. Davis was the one that led the pursuit there for Rocky River.
Call it 2nd and 12 right now. 1 running back there, and that's Daniels. Carey faking it, and Carey hit immediately, slides forward, maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd and long here for Hickory Ridge. So they're really having the offensive line struggling a bit against this Rocky River front.
Yeah, and that Rocky River, this is something they hadn't faced all year, a big physical defensive line.
3rd and 11 did credit him with a yard pickup, emptying out the backfield for the senior Ratliff. Keeping a tight end in as well as Sheriff. Long count, now dropping back. Ratliff steps forward, sends it deep down the left sideline into coverage, intended for Brooks, and about landed it in there at the 20-yard line, but Brooks runs out to the track and says, no go there.
And that's really not a bad play call by Coach Seidel. I mean, you got to test the waters a little bit, and just twice he's just missed. That 3rd time he's going to connect.
So, second time seeing the punter, he's like, whoa.
I'm getting some work here.
I was able to go to the sandwich shop last week, and Josh Harper back at it.
Nah, he stayed at the Rib Shack.
Yes, he didn't even have to show up a week ago. Some confusion maybe for Hickory Ridge, but they get settled here. Harper. Oh, they need to carry on. There's 5 seconds on the play clock. Will they get them on in time? Probably not. Here we go. Bitter snap. That's delay a game. Didn't quite. Did they get a timeout in time? And, well, they did.
I think Coach Robinson called it.
Yeah, called it just in time. We'll take a very quick break ourselves. No score early on.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Oh, problems for the punt, but just does get it away and finally rolls dead at 26 as Harper took kind of a running start to get away from the rush and then kicked it.
Yeah, not a bad play. I mean, he got some positive yardage out of it. And it bounced up and hit a Hickory's Rocky River player.
Yeah, it was getting close. There were a lot of jerseys from both teams around the ball before it rolled dead at the 26-yard line. So Rocky River will try their second drive, 7:11 to go in the first quarter. No score as of yet.
It's been a good defensive game so far.
Yeah, both teams trying to, and we'll see who can dial something up. Going with a power eye, or offset eye if you want to call it that. They do have a blocking back in there for Lennon, and gives it all to him, and kind of slips in there, gets into the crowd, and gets some yardage out, almost to still going, dragging the pile across the 35. That's a first down for Lennon.
But we have a flag. Let's see what it is here.
Right back at just a yard upfield. Yeah, Lennon just kind of disappeared in there and just kept going. And if the play stands, it'd be a first down. But as Chris mentioned, there's a flag, but looks like they're talking to the Rocky River captains. Long discussion here about the flag. Usually they have an official go over to the flag. And still talking. Now Rocky River's backing up like it's against them. So a good effort by the line, and Lennon looks like it will be wiped out. No official indication yet. The flag was picked up, and they never did point Rocky River's way, but the ball is being backed up. They waved it off completely. Correction. So the game does stand. That was kind of a strange huddle there, but ends up being a 12-yard game for Lennon and gets Rocky River in much better field position.
Yeah, that was a nice run, young man. And that's one thing you teach. Keep those legs churning, keep them churning. Never know what happens.
Yeah, keep moving forward. I mean, and that's something that just takes time and experience. Now going under center's Cruz. In the offset eye, moves the running back, tosses it out to Lennon, running to the right side. He gets tripped up and thrown backwards. Count the numbers for the Hickory Ridge defense that time. And number 5 leading the charge that time, Connor Helm.
Yeah, along with number 21, is that Figueroa?
That's 25. 21 is Barnett.
Barnett.
One of the captains. So that's a 3-yard loss for Lennon. Trying to set some blocking up that way.
So both teams have the first down now, so
yep.
Got that out of the way.
2nd and 13, though, from the 35. Going to the gun, dropping back Cruz. He wants it deep down the right sideline. Has a man back there and underthrown and tipped away. I'm not even sure the defensive back knew he was there, but that was intended for the receiver back there, May.
Yeah, lucky that was not defensive. It used to be defensive face guarding, but now it's defensive pass interference.
But fortunately, no touch in it.
And we have a penalty here.
back at the, was it a rough at the quarterback maybe? It's right at the line of scrimmage.
They got holding on Rocky River.
5 yards actually back in the backfield, so that wouldn't be a bad take there for. So that ends up being a 15-yard loss. So what is 2nd and 12 is now going to be 2nd and 27. So wipe out the incomplete and really putting Rocky River in the hole here.
And I think we have a score out of, over Concord Cox Mills. 8-0 somebody.
Okay.
I just seen it flash across the top of the screen. I missed who was leading.
We'll see if I can find my Twitter feed here on my. As we're double checking here. Well, I see Cox-Mill doing some Charger stuff, but in any case, we'll keep you up to date on that. So it's going to be a long 2nd down play.
Shakad just sent it over to us. It's 8-0 Concord. Cox-Mill has the ball, have 2nd and goal.
And now why are we now they declined it. Okay, so some communications issues, it appears like. 3rd and 13 at their own 35-yard line.
I was wondering why they didn't decline the penalty. That way you get a loss of down.
Yeah. Although it would have been a big loss yardage-wise. That's always kind of the
plus side of
the
it.
decision you got to make. Cruz empties out the backfield. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. He'll drop back, looking right. Under a rush and hit as he throws the ball. Short completion and nice sure tackle that time out towards the receiver. And a minimal gain. It'll be 4th down. Making the catch out there, that was number 24, Jaleb Cooper, but he was well short, the sophomore.
And the tackle was made by number 5 again for Hickory Ridge.
Helm?
Yep.
All right. Helm, Wallerstadt, that whole gang is.
Seems like they've been here since the school opened, don't it?
At times, yeah. So one of the running backs is Jalen Wilson. He is the punter. They keep 2 blocking backs there, but they almost line up in an offensive formation here. It's like 3 receivers right and 1 to the left. Wilson. And he gets partially blocked, and it's going to roll towards midfield, battling for it, and trying to surge it forward across midfield, but partially blocked and ends up being a short, only about a 10-yard punt, and leaves Hickory Ridge in great field position.
John, you're not going to believe this. Number 30.
Wallerstadt?
No. Number 90 is the one that deflected it. He runs back down, catches the ball, and advances it 3 yards.
That's something that doesn't happen very often. That's Wiley again.
He is all over the place tonight.
And he's not a big lineman, but he gets there. He's fairly quick. I mean, well, he's 225, so certainly big enough.
Yeah, how tall is he?
6 foot.
Yeah, so, I mean, average player.
So now they're going to stack the receivers next to the line for the 1st and 10 at the Rocky River 49. Faking it, run to the right. Kerry has it, gets good blocking that way. Burst of speed, 1st down and more. Falls forward inside the 35 to the 30-yard line. Finally making the finishing tackle was Devin Betford, but not before Kerry surges ahead behind. And, they had those 3 receivers leading the blocking.
That, too, and they had a guy that was peeling back to make the tackle, John. Number 71 for Hickory Ridge seals him from the backside, and that's what finished springing him the rest of that 10 yards.
Kerry, the sophomore, gets a first real positive gain on the ground at 1st and 10 for Hickory Ridge at the Rocky River 31-yard line. Keeping twins either way. Kerry moves over to the left side. Ratliff steps away from pressure. He's going to keep it himself. Slips forward, almost lost the ball, but falls forward to the 29-yard lines. The end made a good rush. Ratliff, though, salvages that play, keeps it for 2 yards. 2nd and 8 for the Ragin Bulls. 4:35 to go in the first quarter. No score as of yet. Our other score that we just got in, Concord up 8-0.
8-7 now.
8-7 is Cox-Mill scored. 2nd down here. Sheriff in motion goes to the left side, sends 3 receivers that way. And now we'll look to the sideline, really trying to face guard Garner there on the short side. Running option left, late pitch to Kerry. He has running room 30, 25, but gets popped right there and falls forward to the 24-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and short coming up here for Hickory Ridge.
Somebody's down here. So Hickory Ridge running back, he took a shot.
He's taking a couple of shots there. So, yeah, Kerry's still lying on his back, unfortunately. So it'll be about a 3rd and 3 play coming up. Let's take a quick injury timeout. Still no score as you're listening to Radio Free Cabarrus.
The Renaissance Festival is back. October 1st through November 20th. The Medieval Amusement Park. A 12-stage theater. Odds, scraps, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at renfestinfo.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back. What?
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations in Concord, Kannapolis, Mooresville, and Charlotte to serve you. They've got free delivery, free shipping, and they can save you money on your prescriptions. Hey, give them a call, or you can go to their website. That's www.cannonpharmacies.com. Cannonpharmacies.com, your hometown drugstore. Great service, friendly people. The people you need to see for free delivery, and your pharmacy is Cannon Pharmacy.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Dropping back, Hickory looks to be okay, but a bit woozy. Ratliff running out right, throws it at the last moment, and caught by Garner inside the 15, down to the 13, still keeping his feet, falls forward to the 11-yard line.
And you knew eventually, John, he was going to find Garner.
Yeah, Garner's been kind of quiet, and, he's such a big commit that he receives so much extra attention. To follow up, that's a first down pass, by the way. Follow up on Nolan Carey. Took a big hit, looked a little woozy coming off, but did walk off under his own power. So hopefully he'll be all right. Of course, he's taking hits this week that he didn't even have to think about a week ago.
Yeah, probably all season he hasn't been hit that hard.
Daniels is the running back, man in motion, Sheriff, and problems with the handoff. Ratliff looked like he kept it for virtually no gain on the first down play. Trying a little bit of belly triple option there and nothing doing.
Number 4 took the hand, or was it?
Kept it there. Yeah. Ratliff kept it. It was a belly play with Daniels. I mean, doing the whole hip thing there like they did with Jeremiah Boyd so many times a year ago. 2nd and 9, though, did give him credit to the, call it 2nd and 11 correction at the 12-yard line. Keeping Daniels. Oh, goodness. One of the linemen just pushed over. One of the defensive linemen came across and pushed poor number 70. He was all fine in his stance. Andrew Jones really took that one, flopped backwards, and, that's encroachment against, offsides encroachment, and free 5 yards to Hickory Ridge.
You think he needs Academy Award for that?
I tell you, he did well. Put him back there as a punter, and somebody breathes on you, act like you're falling down and everything. 2nd and 6 at the 7-yard line. Keeping Twins either way. It's a short gun for Ratliff, keeping Daniels also. Rocky River showing blitz. Now backing off, look to the sideline. Still plenty of time, 12 seconds on the play clock. Ragin Bulls is looking to the right side, fakes it over the middle. Call again, Garner. Same play as a week ago, Chris Hudson, and fakes the pass, and Garner was wide open.
Yeah, what he done is he took off like he was going to run a, what we call a skinny post, but then he just done like what they call an arrow. He just stopped, come right back to the ball, and was, like you say, went about within 10 yards of him.
Yeah, I mean,
he took off like he was going to run at the back of the end zone.
Yeah, and, the Cowboys used to run that play with Drew Pearson back in the day. You remember him and Tony Hill.
Well, it was 2 of the best receivers ever played the game.
Kick by McMillan, a little bit to the left. Did he squeeze it through? He did. So timeout on the field as Hickory Ridge strikes first, up 7-0.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinot.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinot.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinot.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
So McMillan had the extra point, so he'll do the kickoff here. Garner with touchdown number 3 receiving on the year. And for Ratliff, touchdown number 12 throwing the ball. He also has 4 running the ball. So he's done it both ways. 7-yard TD pass gets Hickory Ridge on the board with 2:33 to go in the first quarter. And the Ragin Bulls running up the hill, or down the hill. They're up 7-0. McMillan takes a deep drop back, 10 yards back to kick it off from the high school kickoff point, the 40-yard line. Drummer's going to it, and it's a high but fairly short kick. Taken and rolling, still rolling, and taken. Oh, in a bad spot, the 2-yard line. All kinds of trouble. Looking for a block, and still on his feet. Crosses the 10-yard line. Breaks it through, 20, on the move, and gets forward to the 30-yard line. Boy, a dangerous play there by number 10, returning the ball, and somehow Nareet Smith made something of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky that he wasn't down at about the 2-yard line.
I mean, just a missed tackle, and what an opportunity, and he gets it out to the 34-yard line. Smith is one of their better wide receivers and showed some speed there.
And sitting here watching their running back for Hickory Ridge, they're putting ice on his ribs, so that hopefully he can return.
And that's just part of the deal. You know, you kind of learn how to avoid some of those hits as, you know, he is a sophomore. Bringing a new running back on that's going to be, and we'll double-check the number here, 24, Jalip Cooper, sophomore. He gets a handoff. Cooper slips through the initial wave, but then brought down by the second guy there, Helm, and also in on the play, finally bringing him down, actually, took a couple other players, Paul Thompson. So a loss of a couple, stringing out the play there. So 2nd and 12 coming up for Rocky River. Cooper lost 12 on that run. So changing out a few players. Rocky River. Cruz remains in as the QB. Keeps Cooper as a running back. 2 receivers left. Going with the long count on the 2nd and long play. Gives it to Cooper. Cooper being strung out to the left. Cuts it back to the middle of the field. And nothing doing as Wiley slides in there, forces a play back to the inside, and was finished off as
Connor Ham again.
Yeah, Connor Ham still got 3 yards to Cooper.
So go ahead, John.
3rd and 9.
Cooper, Connor Ham's got to realize there's 10 other players out there. Quit making all the tackles.
Well, it's like C.P. Campbell used to tell us, you know, you can get away with that at the JV level. You get to varsity, it doesn't happen. 3rd and 9, and Cruz looking to the sideline. With 1:09 to go, Hickory Ridge up 7-0. Now they have the play they want. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Trying to get an island back there. Looking right and whips that way. Caught for the short completion across the 40. Well short of the first down as Wallerstadt makes it the first down saving tackle out there. So making that grab out there was Marquis Lowry.
It's going to be 4th and a long 2, John.
And the way Rocky River sets up, they look like they're going for it, actually. 4th and 2. So it's a 6-yard completion. They're saying we need something right here. So big stand possibly. As Cruz looks to the sideline. Line gets up. Looks as well. Needs to play. Same formation with only a running back and 3 receivers.
10 on the shot. 10 on the ball clock here.
Cruz has it. Fates it. Whips it in trouble and knocked away.
Wallerstadt almost intercepted it.
Wallerstadt made a play on the ball and a key for. That's a video game kind of play. You go for it 4th and 2 instead of trying to punt it. And now Hickory Ridge in great field position.
And what a play by a big-time player.
Cruz tried to pump fake it and nothing doing over there. So now Hickory Ridge gets it at the 43-yard line.
Great field position right here.
I mean, you kind of wonder about that for Rocky River. 18 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And if you coach Seidel right here, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see him throw it down to Garner deep down the field.
Well, they got him one-on-one down there. Ratliff looking that way. There he goes. Sends it deep down the right sideline. Garner has position. And
that's defensive pass interference.
But Garner looked like he pulled up at the last moment, maybe lost the ball in the lights. I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of close. Defensive coverage there by Khalil Turner.
I seen that come.
Yeah, I mean, it was one-on-one down there. You got to give it a shot.
Yeah, I believe, John, you're right. I believe he lost it in the lights because he's normally short-handed.
I mean, just kind of pulled up at the last moment. Now stacking those 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, right against the line there. 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line, changing the play. Daniels is back as a running back. He'll get the handoff up the middle and not much doing, but keeps the legs churning and gets it to the 41-yard line. We'll get Daniels a gain of 2, and that's the end of it'll be the end of the first quarter, 2-1, and that is it. Good one for Hickory Ridge. They got a 3rd down coming up to start the second quarter after this on Radio Free Cabarrus.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Well, we're waiting on the second quarter, but we got more important things to deal with here, Chris. Can you nay-nay? All that
stuff. But I ain't going to.
Yeah, I might break something trying to do that. So we'll let the cheerleaders do their routine here, and they're doing a good job of it. Hickory Ridge got a 7-yard touchdown pass from Ratliff to Garner, and then got a 4th down stop shy of midfield. All right, we'll go back to the game action. Y'all did lovely back there. Players are ready to go.
we'll leave that to the professionals down there on the field to do
it. And big round of applause, as well they should.
Good job, young ladies.
So it's a 3rd and 8 for Hickory Ridge at the Raven 40-yard line.
Even the officials was clapping for them. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. They worked hard at that.
Oh, yeah.
Big thrill for them to be part of the opening game, festivities and be part of the rush out onto the field and form the line. It's something they'll remember.
Yeah, on the big field.
Yeah, the high school. 1 running back for Ratliff. Daniels right behind him, stacking up the 3 to the right, faking it that way. Now slips it off to Daniels, gets to the 35. He'll have the 1st down and a little bit more to the 29. I mean, a delayed, just kind of slipped it into almost under his jersey.
That's a nice delayed draw right there.
10-yard pickup for Daniels, who's done a nice job this season in relief of Jeremiah Boyd. So 1st and 10 right at the 30-yard line from the left hash, and the Ragin Bulls again on the move. Already up 7-0. Daniels.
I want to go to Garner here.
He's to the right there. Looking left, though, for Brooks. Brooks into double coverage and overshoots him just into the end zone. I got to give my other receiver a look, said Ratliff, but 2 white jerseys hanging with them and nothing available. I'll make it 2nd and 10. Other game that we're watching, Concord just ahead of Cottsmill, 8-7. As Hickory Ridge gets their play, even on an incomplete, they don't go to a huddle. Got Cruz in the slot and Sheriff and Garner to the right side. 2nd down play. Now they'll get the other play. I guess they have a primary and a secondary play, and Ratliff will call it out here.
Inside the same formation.
Early movement. Ratliff sends it left side and in and out of the hands of Brooks and intercepted off the tip pass. Did he hang up? They're saying, nope, it is an interception. Nice tip and great, and gotten there for the interception by the Jalen Sharp, the junior. Brooks will tell you he should have had that one.
Yeah, Brooks should have hauled that in. I think he was worried about getting hit.
Pass maybe was a hair high, but still. So Rocky River gets the first turnover of the game, and they're back at their own 20-yard line. So we'll see if the Ravens can take advantage.
One thing you like about Jeremiah Boyd, he's down here with Brooks. He's coaching him. He says, young man, keep it in your head. You're fine.
Yeah, and the offensive receivers line up there, and he's kind of on his knees there. And, Boyd goes over and says, okay, you'll get it next time. Cruz remains in as the QB for the Ravens, and now another stoppage of play, just early into the second quarter. Delay a game? Was it already? 25. Wow. I didn't even see it. They must have started that play clock quickly.
And the coach from Hickory, or for Rocky River, is not happy.
That didn't seem like, the 25 seconds, but okay. First and 15 for Cruz. Looking left, lobs it, and just does get it through. Running to the left side, looking for some running room, and knocked out of bounds there at about the 18-yard line. And slipping in there was Chris Money to knock him out.
Along with number 21 again.
So Lennon got the little flare pass, which was almost tipped. It was a dangerous pass. So they'll make it 2nd and 12 at the 18-yard line. Cruz will get it offset fullback there for Lennon as the running back. Quick handoff to Lennon. Lennon looking for room. Wiley forces him back in, and Barnett and several others finish him off. And we also actually will give credit to number 33, Jordan Horn. He's the other big defensive lineman that gets in on a lot of plays. Lost a yard there.
Well, they turn it in just like you're taught how to do on defense. Turn it in, let those big offensive linemen and linebackers do the dirty work.
3rd and 13. That pushes them back to the 17-yard line. So another chance here for the Hickory Ridge defense. Cruz has Lennon back there.
Looks like they're staying with that three down front formation here on the defensive line.
3-4 lineup. Cruz looks left, now sends it out to the right side, coming back and overshooting them. That pass didn't quite get to the receiver, or overshot Andre Knotts. 4th down. 4th down for the Rocky River team. So the band playing a little too loud for Chris. Is that?
No, I would just shut it just while we're on this end. That way I can kind of get the picture in.
That being the camera, he's taking this duty seriously here as our cameraman. Wilson ready to punt it away. 2 men back deep near midfield. And again, Rocky River setting up in almost an offensive formation. Wilson, and it's a short kick. Watch out as it bounces and taken at the 45-yard line, or down there by Rocky River. So Hickory Ridge again in great field position. And now we get a little air again.
Yeah. Yeah, I take my job seriously. I get paid a lot of money free.
Yeah.
That's the best money.
Of course, Renaissance Festival opened up this past weekend. Saw a lot of my contra dance friends who like to do the step dancing as well, the Irish step dancing.
I ain't even trying that. I break ankles and knees. And
emptying out the backfield, Ratliff sends Daniels out to the left side. Now man in motion. The Sheriff gets the no faking it. Ratliff keeps it and turned around there. Will lose a yard as a little bit of extracurriculars there for one of the linemen for Hickory Ridge. So I did get a few numbers watching it. You got guys like Andrew Jones, Nicholas Habjanak. Grayson Lewis is also a lineman. And let's give credit to 77. Dalton Haywood plays both ways. Lost about half a yard, no gain really. For Ratliff, 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Checks off the play again here.
Still keeping Daniels as the running back. Haven't seen Carey return.
Yeah, he's still sitting down here on the trainer's table.
Getting a little work there. And in trouble, was looking for a pitch back, but nothing doing there. As I don't know if Cruz was intended to be a pitch back, but Ratliff had nowhere to go and is swarmed under by the Ravens. I'm sure Jerry Hathcock would make some sort of Alfred Hitchcock joke about that.
Yeah,
the birds.
I'm sure he would, yeah.
The birds, a flock of ravens.
He probably sits there and just writes down things and remembers them.
4-yard loss, though, and it's 3rd and 14.
Timeout here.
With 9:07 to go, and timeout is called
by Rocky River.
Let's take one ourselves. Hickory Ridge up 7-0.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Once Upon a Time is now. Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Presented by Harris Teeter, the Charlotte Observer, and Pepsi. 12 stages of nonstop entertainment.
Because it is just so much fun for everybody in the family. It doesn't matter what age you are.
A medieval amusement park, comedy, daredevil antics, and giant roasted turkey legs.
We love the Renaissance Festival.
Jousting nights, men in tights, shopping, music, dance, incredible value, and delicious foods.
We love to come and eat our way through the festival. Amazing things to eat, the turkey legs and the crepes and everything else. It's a highlight of our trip every year.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Discount tickets at Harris Teeter or renfestinfo.com.
Come to the Renaissance Festival.
Get a free Child's Renaissance Festival ticket with coupons. Available at participating Auto Bell and Jersey Mike locations while supplies last.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Hickory Ridge faces a 3rd and 14 from the Rocky River 49-yard line. They're up 7-0. The Wonders of A.L. Brown take a 7-0 lead early in the second quarter on a 74-yard run. That's against Central Cabarrus. Send in receivers out to the left. For the 3rd down play for Hickory Ridge, again, a long look to the sideline really forces the defense to have to wait and be alert.
Concord's up 11-7.
So they get a field goal. Drop it back, looking deep down the left sideline. Open is Garner, has it at the 20-yard line. Makes a move, cuts it to the middle. Keeps his feet. He's going to take it all the way in for a touchdown. Garner really turned around the Rocky River player. The ball was slightly underthrown. He called it at the 20, made the defender miss. Ends up being a 49-yard catch and run for Garner.
Wow, what a big play. I told you they was coming back to him eventually.
I mean, you know, you have to. I mean, there's just no two ways about it.
You're exactly right. He's the best receiver you got.
I mean, and you got Brooks on the other side who's about as good. McMillan set to put on point number 14 here. High snap, brought down by Ratliff, and it gets it. Oh, well, let's say to Raleigh. How about that? That was a long one. 14-0 on Radio Free Cabarrus.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. And, of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations in Concord, Kannapolis, Mooresville, and Charlotte to serve you. They've got free delivery, free shipping, and they can save you money on your prescriptions. Hey, give them a call, or you can go to their website. That's www.cannonpharmacies.com. Cannonpharmacies.com, your hometown drugstore. Great service, friendly people. The people you need to see for free delivery, and your pharmacy is Cannon Pharmacy.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
So McMillan ready to kick it off following the long catch and run from Ratliff to Garner. For Garner, second TD catch of the night and 4th on the season. For Ratliff, 13th on the year as far as TDs thrown. Hickory Ridge ready to kick it off for McMillan. And he gets this one deep towards the end zone. And called again at the 2-yard line. 5-10 running to the middle of the field looking for some running room. This time it doesn't end up so well. 17. Did he fumble? No, apparently. But he really got turned around there, the return man, and Nareek Smith.
Yeah, I think he was down on contact.
It was kind of in that no man's land. And, you know, he caught it in the corner at the 2-yard line. I mean, it's just... So it is spotted at the 17. Hickory Ridge up 14-0.
Are you good? I'm just sneaking in right here in the corner.
All righty.
There we go.
I do like the Hickory Ridge press box. We get plenty of room and, you know, a lot of little design features where I can put stuff and you don't feel like everything's all, you know, you're all kind of stuff is all on top of you here. So Cruz will try again with Lennon behind him, keeping the 3 receivers. Bates it, sends it to the left side. Call in the slot. Did he hang on to that ball?
I don't think he did.
And saying incomplete. The pass was intended to James May. I think of James May. I think of the British car reporter. James May, he used to do Top Gear, now does a Grand Tour with Richard Hammond, and forget the other guy's name. Jeremy. Yeah, that's his name. Anyway, he's known as Mr. Slow, James May, the British guy, much older British guy. 2nd and 10 to the left side, little screen pass called out to the left, has a little bit of running room, and works his way forward. Be about an 8-yard pickup out that way.
But there's a flag on the far side. I think it's going to be a block in the back, John, on Rocky River.
Yeah, you wonder if you're supposedly not supposed to engage, the blocker's not supposed to engage until the pass is caught. And that may be what they're looking at. So they're looking towards Rocky River's way. It is a hold, a few yards upfield, so it will negate a pretty good play there. It's about 4 or 5 yards. The flag was thrown up there. So what was 2nd and 10? Looks like it'll be about 2nd and 17 as it's marked from the 20-yard line. We'll go back to the 10-yard line. So take away that good little play, and Rocky River goes back to the drawing board. Hickory Ridge up 14-0 on the strength of 2 TD passes, a short one and a long one from Ratliff to Garner. Now we'll stack out the 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Keeping Lennon as a running back. 2nd and 17 from the 10-yard line for Cruz. Now they look to the sideline, look for the play. Long look over. The crowd got into the pink day as well. A lot of pink being worn by both guys and gals. Dropping back is Cruz. Looks over the middle. Now sends it to the right side and caught it at the 10-yard line. Hit immediately. Oh, what a nice play that time. Give credit to number 10, Aiden Solomon, and threw number 17 down for virtually James Battle for no gain.
I'd give him like a yard, it looks like.
But, may as well be no gain. I mean, because it's going to be 3rd and long.
Nice play, young man.
Yeah, Solomon, who's filled in as a running back over the last year or so, it is out to 11, but 3rd and 16. And that was an open field tackle. If Solomon doesn't get that, he still might be running. Checking in an extra defensive end here. 4 down linemen now. Sends it out to the left side. Caught out there by May. May, who is not Mr. Slow, crosses the 20. Gets some of the yardage back to the 22-yard line, but still well short of the first down. So 4th down coming up here for Rocky River as May got some of the yards. 4th down, and again, Rocky River kind of does an interesting thing here, Chris. They line up in almost an offensive formation when they do their punts. Cruz is back there as a return man. Wilson set to do the punt duties. No rush here. Sent up for the return. It's a short kick. Shanks it off to the right side. Bounces at the 45 and will roll right almost to midfield. Dies at the Rocky River 48. So one thing that hasn't changed from a week ago is Hickory Ridge getting great field position.
Yeah, they've had great field position about every time they take possession of the ball.
And one of the things I meant to do is find those linemen for Hickory Ridge, because we really didn't mention them a week ago. But Andrew Jones, Nicholas Habjanat, Connor Kelly also in there, and Grayson Lewis along with Dalton Haywood. So those are the 5. And after the first couple of drives, they've done a nice job. Stoppage of play with 6:42 to go. And looks like we have a timeout towards Rocky River. So let's take another quick one ourselves. Again, Hickory Ridge up 14-0 here on Radio Free Cabarrus.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinded.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Following the timeout, 1st and 10. As Cruz in motion, he'll get the handoff, running behind, blocking to the right sideline, surges forward and gets about 47. It looks like I don't know if I've ever seen that, Chris. 3 pulling linemen out there.
That's some kind of triple blocking scheme they run or something. It works.
And once again, we got a bit of a harvest moon out to the right sideline, hiding behind the clouds. That moon was gigantic last night.
I see it now.
2nd and 7 at the 46-yard line, keeping Daniels now in as a running back. 3 receivers left. See Sheriff Cruz and Brooks over there as Gardner lines up to the right side. Looking for the second play now. Ratliff ready to go. Sends it to the left side, caught by Cruz, gets good blocking, but now it breaks down and works his way forward, gets flipped over there. Perfectly good tackle, and Cruz loses a yard. Nice play out there by Otis Gaddison.
Got an update. It is 11-10 Concord.
So a field goal by the Chargers. So that ends up being a 1-yard loss for Cruz. So 3rd and 8. Just shy of the 46-yard line. Here is 14-0 in favor of Hickory Ridge. The Wonders still lead Central Cabarrus 7-0. Stacking 3 receivers to the short side. That's the left side. Low snap. Ratliff has time, though. Whips it over the middle. Tipped, and Brooks ended up being a little too low for him. And that'll be 4th down coming up.
That was a bad throw by Ratliff.
Yeah, I wonder if one of the linemen kind of slipped in there and affected his view there. In any case, 4th down play. Harper will come out, and his 3rd punt of the game. So maybe a missed opportunity for Hickory Ridge. Brooks that was a slant pattern, short slant, and they were going to let him run it to the 1st down. 1 man back deep there for the Ravens. See if Rocky River, here they come. And quick running kick by Harper. Sends it right. Wilson fumbles it. Ball's on the ground. I think he fell back on it just across the 15-yard line. Oh, just for a second there. Marquis Lowry didn't panic. Give him credit. As you teach it in baseball, you fumble the grounder, stay in front of it, and get it back.
Yeah. Best thing he's doing, trying to pick it up, just fall on it.
Yeah, that was the smart part of that, for sure. But again, Rocky River, this is pretty much where there's between the 20, about the 15 and the 30-yard line. I think they've only had one drive start past the 30. And now are they going to a Wildcat here? Looks like they are. They're bringing in May in as a Wildcat QB. He's going to run it to the left side, being strung out there, and has running room, breaks it out to the left side, crosses the 30, out to the 34-yard line. So James May, and then in his supercar, so that was going to put all those. But it's a 1st down for the Rocky River Ravens.
That's probably the most positive play they've had in the last 3 possessions.
Maybe their best play, period. Yeah, it is. They had a 12-yard pickup by Lennon one time. So Mayer remains in as the Wildcat QB, has a blocking back up there. 3 receivers right. Rocky River, fumbles the snap, problems, and goes down for a big loss. Falls on the ball, but not before big number 54 falls on him, Paul Thompson. So May giveth and May taketh away. About a 7-yard loss there.
That's a big defensive play.
2nd and long, 17-yard line. Looks like they're still keeping them in, though. And Hickory Ridge only putting 2 defenders on the receivers. Don't think they can throw them that way. Man in motion goes to the left side, and he'll run it that way, looking for some blocking. May hemmed in, nothing doing over there. Just waiting for him to get to that point, and absolutely nothing. 3rd and long coming up. I mean, he tried to cross, Chris, and there were 4 blue jerseys waiting for him on the other side.
They're like, come on across over here a little bit, we'll get you.
Just come to us.
Yeah, we're not coming to you. But just what a great job, for Hickory Ridge to string this thing out and make them cut it back. Hickory Ridge is playing real great on defense right now.
So Cruz returns as the QB. He's, of course, the passing QB. 3rd and about 17 from just across the 25-yard line. Robinson leads Northwest 7-0. Cruz dropping back, looking right, whips it up that way. Caught by May. He's at the 30-yard line, cuts it back to the middle, tries to charge forward, but well short of the first down. Helm was in there along with several others. We'll also give credit to number 17, Larkin Smith. And Zion Barnett was in as well. But again, well short.
See, fourth and about, about 11?
Yeah, for fourth and, we'll say 8. They did cross the first downs.
4th and 8.
The original line of scrimmage. So, they're lining up to go for it. Wow. All right. Down 14-0 with 2:54 to go.
And this could be a fake pooch kick here.
Yep, dropping back. No, he wants to throw it. Cruz and dropped it. In and out of the hands over there on the far sideline, intended for number 17, James Battle. And another 4th down conversion goes awry for Rocky River.
A good defensive play by number 10, Solomon.
Yeah, Eden Solomon. So now Hickory Ridge, this is the thing. They're in great field position with 2:47 and 2 timeouts remaining. So they don't have to rush anything. They're at the 37-yard line. So, again, I kind of wonder about Rocky River's thinking there.
I believe I pooch punted it, with my quarterback just having to kick it away.
Yeah, or just punt it outright. Really.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Low snap from Ratliff, looking left. Now sends it, fakes it, loses it as it goes forward. Was that a fumble? It's picked up. There's a flag thrown upfield. They're running it back the other way. 40, Daniels the only man to beat, and good job of Daniels to bring down number 9, who picked up Jalen Sharp. So there was a flag a few yards upfield. Was it defensive holding?
Or was it roughing the passer after he released the ball?
So what happened was Ratliff went forward to throw the ball, and as he went forward, he lost it, fumbled it forward, and the Ravens picked it up and returned it to the Hickory Ridge 25-yard line. But the flag was thrown a few yards upfield, about 4 yards from the line of scrimmage. And it's against Rocky River.
Incomplete pass.
It's thrown as an incomplete pass. Wow.
They said his arm was going forward.
I guess just enough.
And it's good that they got together and talked about it.
Yeah.
Let the play in, didn't get together and talk about it.
We're still sitting over the flag, though. So it's either 2nd and 10 or... So the officials still stand with the flag. Then now the officials are discussing it way, way away from... And, of course, we don't have the, this one time I might agree with Shaked. If we could take a second look at it, they certainly would. They had a similar play in the Atlanta game against Buffalo, the Atlanta QB. And marker is picked up, so no flag there. 2nd and 10 as Hickory Ridge gets new life.
Yeah, I think what he was trying to do was they got a bing bag. He was trying to throw the bing bag to spot the ball.
Threw out the wrong piece of laundry there.
Got an update from Mark. It is Cox Mills 17, Concord 11.
All right, so
he says 4 turnovers by the Spiders.
Well, that'll do it, folks.
And it's been a while since Cox Mills has beaten Concord, hasn't it?
Not since that 1st and 67 play.
I still remember
way back when. Yeah, Jerry Hathcott saying first, and one few times I've heard him stumble. 1st and 67, It's still one of the...
And that was, 2010?
2010, correct.
So it's been 7 years.
Yeah. And Cox Mill won the first 2 games at Bailey Stadium. That's kind of an odd number there back in the day.
It seems I think they're over discussing this with the Rocky River head coach.
Saying, this is why we called it an incomplete. That's Coach Orlando Gray.
And I think it's the right call because when I seen his arm looked like it was coming forward a little.
Yeah. And again, it was almost a repeat of the Atlanta play, and the instant replay said, it was a fumble. But it's kind of one of those things, in that case, he lost it as he was rearing back. He didn't actually have forward motion. And oddly enough, as he brought his arm forward, the Atlanta QB, he actually tapped it forward. So it made it look like he had thrown the ball. Cruz goes to the right side. They'll give it to Daniels, though, up the middle. Delays, crosses the 35, and gets to the 34-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup for Daniels. It makes it a 3rd and 7 play coming up. So that gets the clock rolling again to 2:20. 3rd down coming up here. for Hickory Ridge.
I think you'll see Rafford either pump it to Brooks and go over to one of the wideouts on the wide side over there.
Yeah, got to get Jalen Brooks in there, and they're shading him on the left side.
Got one-on-one with Brooks. One-on-one with
So Brooks is the lone receiver to the left side, and now Hickory Ridge wants a timeout. So let's take a quick one ourselves as we're getting towards the end of the quarter. 14-0, Ragin Bulls.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Hickory Ridge has a 3rd and 8 play at the Rocky River 35-yard line late in the second quarter. Already up 14-0. Ratliff empties out the backfield. Dropping back. Now will keep it himself, but hit immediately. Really cleaning things up, and Ratliff had nowhere to go. 51 kept things in there. That was Adrian Peterson, and ends up losing about 3 yards.
Did you say Adrian Peterson?
Adrian.
Okay.
It's close. It's close.
I was going to say, good Lord, I'm going to get me an autograph.
Yeah, really. It's like that would be a bit. I think Adrian Peterson used up his high school eligibility and college eligibility some years ago. So here comes Harper again as the Ravens defense holds. That we were told that was one of their strengths. But at least the clock is on Hickory Ridge's side. And now play clock goes down to 0 before the ball is snapped. And that'll be 5 yards, although that, even in high school football, that doesn't bother you too much. They just wanted to, Hickory Ridge wanted to use up all the time they could. And it knocks it down to 1:07 to go in the second quarter. Of course, the BenMinded.com halftime show coming up. We'll get you.
Click and drive.
Yeah, you said it. As we'll get you up to date. We'll listen to the band, look over the first half, have some numbers for you. Good snap here. Harper angles it. And it's going to go on a hop, and now in trouble. Picks up the ball, surrounded at the 10-yard line. Oh, dangerous play, and thrown backwards by virtually the entire coverage team. Lowry made a dangerous play. It was indecisive there. Michael Mayer leading the charge, the rush, if you will. So 1st and 10 for Rocky River at their 10-yard line. Rocky River does get the ball to start the second half. And I don't think they'll fare much better as far as field position there either.
You would hope so as a Hickory Ridge fan or player.
Cruz with Lennon behind him. Only one receiver here. They'll give it up to Lennon, running to the right side. Thompson strains him out. Here comes Barnett and crushes him with the help of another player there. I think that was Horn. Rather, number 10, Solomon. We should know him. He's made a few plays, and Lennon just got absolutely crushed there.
Number 21's holding his wrist.
Barnett. Yeah, Zion Barnett really chased him out of there. So it ends up being a 2-yard pickup for Lennon, but Barnett's being tended to there. He's already a few yards off the sideline. So they're taking a stoppage of play. As it'll be second down coming up for Rocky River.
And it does. I mean, to me, it don't look good. I mean, he went to the ground immediately, holding his wrist or his forearm.
So just want to be careful, even though he's off the field of play.
Yeah, he's in pain. He's slapping himself in the head. He's in pain. You hope for anything not being broken here.
Right, exactly.
because he's one of the big-time defensive players. It could be a shoulder, too, there, messing with his shoulder.
Yeah, dislocated. Yeah, it's kind of a strange sight here. Somebody's holding up a crutch there. Well, he's able to get up, and really not able to tell quite what it is, but hopefully he's okay. He's walking back towards the bench area.
Yeah, I think you were right, John. I seen him pull down on his arm, so it could have been a dislocated shoulder, and they popped it back.
There you go. I'm sure you saw that happen a few times over the years.
Yeah.
Second down.
They snapped the ball, and it wasn't even ready for play.
Said, no. Officials say, you got to wait for us. No, it's just some guys holding. You see the guy with the crutch and like a pink flag on it.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah. It's kind of a funny sight. And now sending the teams back to their sidelines as they don't have to run another play. They just started to play the game clock, and Rocky River says, okay, we'll get the ball to start this second half and regroup a little bit. It's been all Hickory Ridge, 14-0. Certainly it may have been, there were some opportunities for it to be more than that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What a great defensive showing by Hickory Ridge, to start out the first half.
Can't fault their defense at all, but, they played pretty much on the Rocky River side of the ball the entire first half. So 2 touchdown passes from Ratliff to Garner, and that gets us to our 14-0 halftime score, brought to you again by BenMinute.com. Sign, click, and drive. Or how do you say?
Shop, click, and drive.
Shop, click, and drive. Thank you. Keep me straight. Sometimes, that's why we pay Chris the big bucks to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, we got a halftime score, 17-11 Cox Mill.
All right, that's over Concord. That's another of our games. We'll have a chance to listen to the Ragin Bull Marching Band. Again, BenMinute.com halftime show. Hickory Ridge up 14-0 on Radio Free Bears and the Cube.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinute.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle, you estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, click, and drive at BenMinute.com. Again, shop, click, and drive, BenMinute.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
The Renaissance Festival is back! October 1st through November 20th. A medieval amusement park. A 12-stage theater. Odds, crafts, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at rinfestinfo.com.
No one does high school sports coverage like Mark Clemens and John Von Cannon, and it's right here on your hometown station, RadioFreeCabarrus.com.
On the BenMinded.com halftime show, we're ready for the Hickory Ridge Ragin Bull Marching Band. So let's give them a listen as they're about ready to start. Hickory Ridge up in this one, 14-0. right, the Hickory Ridge Ragin Bulls marching band on the BenMinute.com halftime show. A few other scores, A.L. Brown leading Central Cabarrus 17-6 at halftime. Found out that Northwest Cabarrus quarterback went down early, and might be part of the reason Robinson's up over the Northwest Cabarrus team 7-0. Here's Hickory Ridge 14 and Rocky River 0. More to come on the BenMinute.com halftime show. Again, Hickory Ridge up 14-0 here on Radio Free Cabarrus and the Cube.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinute.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinute.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinute.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
The Renaissance Festival is back! October 1st through November 20th. A medieval amusement park, a 12-stage theater, odds, crafts, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at rinfestinfo.com.
No one does high school sports coverage like Mark Plemons and John Von Cannon, and it's right here on your hometown station, RadioFreeCabarrus.com.
All right, and Hickory Ridge leading the Rocky River Ravens 14-0 on the BenMinute.com halftime show. Other scores that we have: Cotts Mill over at Concord 17-11. Kannapolis A.L. Brown over the Central Cabarrus Vikings. Find that score against was, I believe, 17-6. There it is. And Robinson over Northwest Cabarrus 7-0. Here, Chris had an early touchdown as they got driving. Finally, did Hickory Ridge after Rocky River being looks like a pretty good defensive team and good defensive line, but they got driving and Ratliff to garner 7 yards. A similar play we saw a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was real similar, John. But Hickory, when you start off on your opponent's 40, 45-yard line every time you get the ball, you're going to score. But, it was a great job by Seidel and his offense, to methodically move the ball down the end zone, and then for Garner to take off like he's going to run through the bull down here when he come out and then just break it right back off into the end zone. And, for the quarterback to find him, in the end zone wide open.
And then it was, I don't know what sort of move Garner put on for that second touchdown, but he was wide open. Ball was a little bit underthrown, but Ratliff catches it at the 20-yard line. I mean, absolutely turns the Rocky River defender around, trying to tackle him, middle of the field, and then runs the other 20 yards. It ends up being a 49-yard touchdown catch and run.
Well, I mean, you got receivers, then you got elite receivers, and Garner's one of those elite receivers. That's why I signed to a D1 school.
All right. I think these guys are a little smallish for the high school level, but, hey, they're running with verve and enthusiasm all the way across the field. I guess this is their sprints to get to the end zone, so they're coming on out. We got to run on the high school field.
Yeah, this is their little Pop Warner team that practices around here.
All right, who the cheerleaders, I guess you mentioned earlier,
Yes.
same group there. Oh, and now more. Now these guys are a little bigger, so I guess they're a little closer to playing at the high school, and they get to. They're setting up the Ragin Bull and the smoke. They redid the smoke machine for them there.
Yeah, they call that the Smoking Bull, I think is what they call him.
The smoking. I mean, got Ragin Bulls, and let's see if they can make it rattle and bounce around like they did. The high schoolers did. Okay, here we go. They're working on it. Here they come. All right. Running across the field.
And this looks like it might be some middle schoolers, too.
There, okay. That would make sense. And their cheerleaders falling behind.
I said that's the 7th grade football team.
7th grade, okay. So, well, that's middle school, right? Yeah, so there you go. So they're getting their props, of course. A few numbers here for you. Ratliff, pretty good first half. He went through 2 touchdown passes, 6 for 12. Did throw the one interception that was a tip pass. Wasn't really his fault. Threw for 83 yards. The running game for Hickory Ridge kind of been stymied a bit, although part of that, Ratliff's been sacked 3 times, and then there's been a couple other negative plays. So far it's a 15 carries for 22 yards. Overall, Hickory Ridge, 27 plays, 105 yards, the 1 turnover. Rocky River certainly not faring anywhere close to that well. 6 to 12, 30 yards passing the ball, 11 carries, 13 yards running the ball. Overall, 23 plays, 43 yards, no turnovers, no points there.
So they've only got 43 yards of total offense.
Right.
Wow, you cannot win any type of sporting event with numbers like that. If you're Rocky River, John, you want to come out here in the second half and try to get the ball down the field more. Try to get into some vertical one-on-one matchups with, the quarterback. He's a big guy. He can throw the ball down the field. But if you're Hickory Ridge, you just keep everything in front of you and play the way you've been playing smash mouth football and take this win and go,
All right, and a few more folks coming out, and they're doing the old the ribbon thing with their formation here for breast cancer awareness. So doing it right outside the bull here. So that's kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah, if we can get it.
See if we can go. There we go. Get the camera. So that's over towards the right side, kind of the field house entrance. And it's kind of interesting, Hickory Ridge, boy, have they filled up their side of the stadium now for a couple of games and getting into the 4A level and certainly having a good team. Rocky River brought a few votes, but not a lot. So that's, a little disappointing for them. BenMinded.com halftime show, where we'll take another break and look ahead a little more as you're listening to Radio Free Cabarrus and part of the Cube.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle, you estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinded.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy, with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
The Renaissance Festival is back! October 1st through November 20th. The Medieval Amusement Park. A 12-stage theater. Odds, crafts, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at rinfestinfo.com.
No one does high school sports coverage like Mark Clemens and John Von Cannon, and it's right here on your hometown station, RadioFreeCabarrus.com.
And we're in the warm-up period now, so a couple minutes away from the kickoff getting underway. Again, wrapping up the BenMinot.com halftime show as Hickory Ridge leads Rocky River 14-0. Of course, this being a Southwest 4A conference game, that's what Hickory Ridge is part of for this year and the next 3 years. And, Chris, this conference play really now getting underway for the rest of Cabarrus County as well.
Yeah, there's some really good matchups. I think the Robinson Northwest matchup is going to be really, really good. Yeah, you said the quarterback went down early, but I still think Northwest is going to come back in that game and make a game of it, for Northwest. But I was just looking here on Facebook, had a baseball icon legend die. I don't know if he just died or what, but Gene the Stick Michael that played for the New York Yankees just passed away at the age of 80. So yeah, he played with the Yankees and the Dodgers and then the Cubs and the Yankees.
Well, all right. A lot of folks, Tom Petty, of course, a lot of folks liked. I was with some friends Wednesday night. The place they were playing everything. You remember the Traveling Wilburys?
Yes.
In the late 80s? It's funny, Bob Dylan has outlived them all. So,
That's right.
Yeah, so and we still got Jeff Lynne from ELO and, of course, George Harrison and late Roy Orbison. Those two passed on. So it's kind of an interesting. It was like, gosh, y'all are playing all this music that's pretty incredible. So Hickory Ridge warming up to our right, and now Rocky River kind of stumbles out. Boy, they look a little bit worn out after coming to the sideline here. So they seemed overly conservative on offense. Seemed like they did only 2 formations the entire game.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too, but it don't look like that they're tired. It looks just like they're stunned here by. This is the first-year team in our conference. What are they doing to us? Yeah.
Like we weren't really expecting this. I mean, we know Hickory Ridge is a good team, and they did some things at the 3A level last few years, but certainly they can do it. And Radliff's missed a few passes here and there. They had one pass tip for an interception, so certainly some things to clean up on the Coach Seidel's side, and the running game is against. Unfortunately, that's the one thing that kind of worries me about Hickory Ridge with Jeremiah Boyd still out is can they generate a running game?
Well, I think what they're doing is they're getting enough production out of the running backs till Boyd gets back. I mean, you don't have to have a big game runner back there as long as you get 3 to 4 yards, and Ratliff can do his thing back there. I think Hickory Ridge will be okay until he gets back. I mean, that's what you hope for anyway, next man up type thing.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly got Daniels. You got Carey, who went out early, took a tough hit there, and was being tended to last we saw. In fact, is that him with the crutches over there?
Yep, that's him.
32's got a, kind of favoring 1 foot there, so I guess he's out for the moment. Yeah, so it's Daniels back there right now. And Wallerstadt walks over to him, so really hadn't even noticed that. And obviously no helmet, just he's on crutches right now. I mean, it looks like he's able to walk around, but must have taken a harder shot than we thought.
They don't want to put weight on something.
Yeah. I mean, he's staying off that left foot and for the most part. So hopefully he'll be all right down the road.
Yeah, that'd be 2 running backs that they're down.
Yeah, that was kind of a guy they were counting on, and it's like one of the student trainers talking to him, making sure he, doesn't put weight where it, doesn't need to be put. So McMillan ready to kick off, ready to get the third quarter underway.
And he could have a bruise on his kidney area, too, and they just put him on crutches to keep him from putting weight down in that area, too, because when he put the ice pack was kind of around his rib kidney area.
And, that's where he would take a shot, obviously. So Couple men back deep for Rocky River, ready to go. Hickory Ridge up 14-0. McMillan. And now the announcer has to, I think he scared McMillan there as he tried to approach the ball. Here we go. And it's a high but not particularly deep kick taken at the 12-yard line. 15, 20, run to the left side. And then, well, corralled, speaking of which, and thrown down. Nicely done.
Is that 34? Yep.
Yep, 34 gets in there. And Trey Parnell. Smith was brought down. And so, again, Rocky River in not very good field position at their 18-yard line. 1st and 10, we'll see if Cruz comes back out. I see receivers out there, yep. And Lennon's the running back. That's their gang. Keeping 3 receivers right and 1 to the left. Quick toss out to the right side. And it's caught out there across to the 20-yard line. May, he got popped across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Solomon again in on that play. James May getting about 4 yards out that way. We'll see where they end up spotting it.
Well, does Hickory Ridge not get to the ball quickly?
They do. I mean, also in on that hit was Chris Massey. 2nd and 6. Was there a penalty? Yeah, they hadn't spotted the ball yet. It was at the 22-yard line, but it looks like they may be discussing a penalty. Yeah, officials. I didn't even see a flag come out. Yeah, the flag was at the 20, so Mark back it up to the 10-yard line. So wipe off the short gain and back it up even further. 1st and 18 at the 10-yard line.
And Hickory Ridge, Rocky River's just shooting itself in the foot right here.
I mean, it's certainly against a good defensive team. They don't look like the types that can break a big play. Cruz on the 1st and long play. He'll give it off to Lennon. Lennon surges ahead, and Wallerstadt in there along with several others. And we'll also give credit to 33, Jordan Horn.
Big number 9 is the one that clogged the hole up.
Well, that's the thing. He's been having a great game, that being Wiley. Lennon ends up with about a 3-yard pickup. 2nd down coming up at the 13-yard line. 2nd and 15. As Cruz puts Lennon behind him. Ready to go, though. Sends it, fates it, now goes to the left side, but immediately met back there and thrown for a big loss inside the 5-yard line. He who hesitates is lost, and I think that was Solomon again bringing him down. Yeah, May had nowhere to go. Paul Thompson, got in on the play. So a loss of about 7, actually. 3rd and forever to go. They did mark forward progress about to the 9-yard line and need to get to the 30.
You got to be careful here for a safety.
They'll just give it off to Lennon. Lennon with a little running room off the draw. Spins around, crosses the 20. But stops actually shy of the 20-yard line, so well short of the 1st down. 4th down coming up here for Rocky River.
I think we got a flag on the play.
So let's hold the action. And it was at the end of the run, so.
That could be on Hickory Ridge.
Hopefully it's not a face mask.
I think that's what they're indicating here.
These officials don't point towards, they just go ahead and mark it off. I've not yet seen them come out, and yet they're pointing. Oh, tough break. They look like they stopped them short. Now they do give the face mask indication. And if it's the 15-yard variety, it is the 15-yard personal foul, and that's a 1st down. So the officials have spotted it right at the end of the run. Somebody grabbed the face mask, and 1st down to Rocky River. What was a 3rd and about 21, and they get it. So 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Keeps things alive for the Ravens. See if they take advantage here. Cruz in the shotgun with the receivers either way. Gives off to Lennon. He dances to the right side. Gets around Thompson. Thompson trips him up. And then it's Wallerstadt and Solomon and a few others pushing them backwards. Virtually no gain there for Lennon.
But that hole closed down quickly.
Give Thompson credit. Forced it back towards the middle. Slowed him up as well. Wiley in on the play as well. Did credit him with a yard pickup to the 34-yard line, 2nd and 9. Both teams neither use a huddle. Cruz looks to the right side, whipped out that way, tipped and intercepted by Solomon. Solomon at 35 has running room, gets a block, 25, 20, and gets knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Thompson tipped it. Solomon was right there.
Wow, what an interception, and what a better run it did. He just laid his head down and run over him.
Got it down to, it is the 17-yard line. So it ends up being about a 23-yard return. That was a bad throw. Thompson had position on the receiver the entire way. And you see Thompson and Wallerstadt giving each other pats on the back as they go to the bench. And, of course, from the coaches themselves, they know what they did. So Hickory Ridge wants to take advantage right now, get it to a 3-possession game. Cruz goes to the right side. And now Ratliff looks to the sideline for another play. Rocky River rotates on defense. Daniels remains in as a running back, 3 receivers right. Faking it, lobs it to the left side. Brooks behind the defense, has it for a touchdown. Back of the end zone. Just slipped behind the defender. Perfect throw by Ratliff. It's a 17-yard TD, and Hickory Ridge up 20-0. Well, we said Brooks would get in there somehow, some way.
Yeah, and you got so much coverage over there on the single man on the far side that he was wide open over here.
Just a quick little pump fake, and McMillan ready to tack on point 21. Ratliff's the holder. Ready for a snap. Here it is. Kicks away, plenty long, and it is good. Timeout on the field. Hickory Ridge gets it up to a 3 TD lead on Radio Free Cabarrus.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinot.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinot.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinot.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
3 touchdown passes for Dylan Ratliff. It's a 21-0 lead for Hickory Ridge. And Brooks gets TD pass reception number 6 of the year. McMillan says, no messing around. We'll kick it to 7. Fumble, picked up at the 10, 15. Looking running room to the left side, tripped up, hits up his feet, though, 30, and slides forward to the 33-yard line. The standard return man there is going to be Nareet Smith. Robinson gets a TD run from Dawson Williams late in the third quarter. They're up 20-0 over Northwest Cabarrus. Yeah, the early loss of their quarterback may be
too much to overcome.
Yeah, it really is.
And the Robinson's hitting their stride at just the right time, too.
A couple of early struggles, but, yeah, they got some players back there. And Dawson Williams, Q Reed, all those guys.
They wasn't Rocky or South Piedmont Conference champions for nothing.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for Rocky River, one of their better starting field positions here. Their own 33, but now they're down 21-0. We'll give up to Lennon running room, but then closed down quickly by guess who? Cal Wallerstadt.
Yeah, he's having a night of it.
Interception return for a touchdown a week ago, and then a ton of tackles tonight.
He's showing the younger kids out here. He said, guys, this is the way you play linebacker right here. Pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, certainly could follow his plays, put the, me being a video editor, how you can put arrows and glowy things around people you want to pay attention to. 2nd and 9 from the 35-yard line, dropping back. Cruz whips it to the right side, caught by May, but nothing doing. Tackled immediately by Massey. And Solomon was also in the area. No gain for the play out to May. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Number 10 for Hickory Ridge comes off the field with a cramp.
That's Solomon. Did give him a correction. We'll say 2-yard pickup. So forward progress there. Cruz's passes take a while to get to the sideline. I think Hickory Ridge is able to recover pretty quickly. 4 down linemen. It's kind of like a 4-6-1. Cruz faking, lobs it over the middle into triple coverage and overshoots everybody at the Hickory Ridge 30-yard line. The problem with that, there were 2 white jerseys and 3 blue jerseys all in the same area.
And one thing I've noticed, John, I noticed what you noticed. They've been real conservative, that is Rocky River. I mean, they're just throwing little 4 or 5 yard little outs and dumps and dinkers. And eventually Hickory Ridge is going to jump that and take it to the house.
Into the third quarter is Robinson leading Northwest 20-0. And going back to punt, 2 men back deep. And using Cruz and Daniels tonight as return men. Sneaking up extra players. Here comes Hickory Ridge. They want to bring it through. And now going to run a fake punt. Has a first down. And more here crossing midfield as it goes out to the 30-yard line of Hickory Ridge. So caught him napping. Caught him looking for the rush and just ran around the rush.
Yep. And that was a good ball fake by the up back.
So it ends up being about a 32-yard gain there. Cruz finally knocks him out of bounds, the return man. And Arik Smith takes advantage for a 32-yard pickup. Just snapped it to the up back there.
Now let's see if Rocky River can capitalize.
Gets it to the 28, so it ends up being a 34-yard pickup. First time, I think, a play's been run in Hickory Ridge territory. Not much doing for Lennon. Stretches forward on the handoff. Gets about 2 yards there. 2nd and 8 coming up. Horn in on the takedown.
He gets 2 points for the takedown.
Yeah. 2nd and 8. Cruz ready to go again with Lennon. Whips it to the left side and almost intercepted. Wow. Coming up, and now going to call pass interference. I really thought the Hickory Ridge player had the better angle on that play, the defensive back, but the receiver got popped by a second player and went down.
We got 2 players down here.
One for it was a bad collision on the far side. But it looked like there were 2 blue jerseys who could have jumped that pass. And a flag was thrown. You heard the ooh and ah from the Hickory Ridge faithful on our side. 7:27 to go. So a couple players being tended to. Hickory Ridge player is up.
And the coaches on the sidelines doing push-ups.
So Marquis Lowry is the Rocky River player that is injured and still being tended to. Isaac Figueroa got up. It seems like he's none the worse for wear. So let's see about the flag here as the Rocky River players are huddling. So they're talking about the upcoming schedule for Hickory Ridge. They're at Myers Park, who's traditionally a very powerhouse, a hard power running game. And they've been fairly good in recent years. So still tending to Lowry over there. And you got to see what the flag is about. There'll probably be some sort of either pass interference or unnecessary roughness.
The Rocky River coach is not happy.
Coach Gray, well. So we're still trying to figure it out. Here comes the indication. Personal foul against Hickory Ridge. Probably going to say some sort of unnecessary roughness there.
We said he done like this, which is a blow to the head. So.
Okay. So that's what that's going to be about. So they'll march it down to the 11-yard line.
Might have been what Coach Gray was mad about.
Saying, is that worth an ejection? Or in any case, now ready to go with Cruz and Lennon behind him. Gives it to Lennon, makes one man miss, dances to the outside. Second and third men won't miss. Push him out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. So 2nd and 8 coming up here for Rocky River. Larkham Smith in on the tackle. So at the 9-yard line, Hickory Ridge up 21-0. Rocky River trying to get on the board here. By far their deepest move into Ragin Bull territory. Cruz ready to go in the shotgun. Lobs it to the right side. One-on-one defensive play, and in and out of the hands Looked like pretty good defense that time. Intended for James May. He gives a long look to the official. Better be careful over there. Chris Massey looked like he knocked it away. On an island there, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you get out on island, on Revis Island, you get taken care of.
Yep. Well, obviously this is 4-down territory for Rocky River. Just no way about you can get around that.
I believe if I'm Rocky River, I put some kind of points on the board here, whether I kick a field goal or a touchdown.
Well, that's the thing. You need 3 scores at this point. They have to be touchdowns. Faking it, whips it over the middle, call. They go in for a touchdown, so that settles that argument. Slipping in there, Jalen Sharp, and it's a 9-yard TD pass. He fumbled it right at the goal line, did Sharp, and then good concentration, brought it in, gets Rocky River on the board.
Still 17-11, Cox Mill over Concord.
So we're ready for the extra point here. It's a big extra point kicker. It's not the same guy who does the kickoffs. Aldair Ochoa. And you expect them to go ahead and get the extra point here. Low snap, brought down, and blocked. That was just too slow in developing, and it keeps the score at 21-6. The extra point blocked.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Larkin Smith was injured on the extra point attempt, but looks like he'll be okay. A lot of hard hitting going on down there in the trenches.
Yeah, this is a big-time football game right here. This is probably the hardest both teams have been hit all year.
21-6 with the extra point being blocked there. Just took too long. The snap took too long to get back to the holder, and 2 blue jerseys were right there.
Are they playing crisscross?
Wow, I don't know this stuff, so beyond my time. So now would Rocky River try an onside or?
Wouldn't hurt.
So it's 38. Portillo set to do the kickoff duties. Takes the deep drop back. He's ready to go. Approaches it. And he does kick it fairly deep, just across the 10-yard line. Daniels, 15, 20, Cruz rather, and out to the across the 25 and stopped right there. So by far the worst starting field position for Hickory Ridge in this game. Battle brings them down. So 6:37 to go. So last call for 50-50 here. So Ratliff keeps Daniels with them.
Can you get you one of them tickets, John? They're giving away $100.
I guess, yeah, we could buy dinner or something. Cruz in there in the backfield as well. Now they split out either way, emptying out the backfield. Ratliff, low snap, drops back, sends it deep to the right sideline, looking for Garner again. Has him, 40, it's a foot race, 30, 20. They're not going to get him. He takes all the way in for a touchdown, his 3rd of the game. That's a.
Oh, they said he stepped out of bounds, didn't they?
Where?
Oh, never mind. The referee's calling for time. Okay.
Okay. So
yeah, he did. He said he stepped out of bounds right there.
Oh, he must have just slid over that way, and he ends up being out of. And the lone official is standing there saying, "Come back right here at the 13-yard line." Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a tough call.
Wow.
And 6 ends up merely. So Hickory Ridge offense has to come back. I didn't think he was anywhere close to the sideline. So it ends up being merely a 61-yard gain to Garner. So hold the touchdown for now.
Bet you they go right back to him.
Well, yeah. I mean, he just beat beat that guy. Ratliff put it in a perfect spot, and the defender never caught him. Apparently the sideline reached up and grabbed him. 1st and 10 at the Rocky River 13-yard line. Ratliff ready to go again. Looking left, faking, now rolls out. It's under pressure. He's going to keep himself. Throws it at the last moment and throws it away. He was well. Oh, they're going to throw are they going to throw intentional grounding?
He was out of the tackle box.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
And there was a receiver in the area.
So that can't be intentional grounding. Supposedly, that's what they're calling it. He was outside the box. Well, I thought you were allowed to do that. But they're going to call it, so it's 5 yards from where it's thrown. And that moves it back to the 23-yard line. And the loss of down.
Coach Seidel's not arguing too much here.
All right, well.
He said you can see him with 3 fingers up pointing over that way, said he was in the area.
Yeah, 2nd and 20, and again, you're outside the box. So, in any case.
You just got to fight through it and keep playing right here.
2nd and 20 at the 23-yard line. Man in motion. Sheriff goes to the left side. Will hip fake it. Ratliff keeps it. Oh, big running room. 20. Makes a man miss. Stumbles forward to the 14. So gets the lost yardage back and makes it a doable. Gives them a chance on 3rd down. It's at the 14-yard line. We'll give the tackle credit to Khalil Turner, the junior defensive back.
17-14 Cox Mill with 10:55 left.
So another field goal for Concord. That's in the 4th quarter. Oh, movement along the defensive line. He just kind of slipped across. And so that should be a free 5 yards for Hickory Ridge. So they'll move it to the 9-yard line, make it 3rd and 6 with 5:49 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Unless Hickory Rocky River puts a man over the top, you got Garner out here on the island one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they see that.
Now the man over top's coming down this way.
I mean, there's nobody over there.
Yeah, there he goes back over that side.
Now they'll shift over a little bit.
Look at the way they got the receiver stacked up here, trips.
Yeah, they're kind of lined up like they're marching over there. Blitz coming. Ratliff, here he goes for Garner. He's open back in the end zone. Has it. Gets a foot in. It's a touchdown. He gets it anyway.
Yep.
Ends up being a 9-yard TD to Garner. And so now we can say, for real, 3rd TD reception here for Ratliff to Garner. 4 overall for Ratliff.
Well, that thing was thrown like a shotgun.
Well, yeah, you and I kept just seeing that and wondering, surely they're not going to leave them single covered out there.
And that's what they done. The man over the top never come to help.
And they blitzed even. McMillan gets it easily. Extra point is good. So back out to a 3-touchdown lead, 28-6 on Radio Free Comparison. Time to say it, Chris. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Once Upon a Time is now. Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Presented by Harris Teeter, the Charlotte Observer, and Pepsi. 12 stages of nonstop entertainment.
Because it is just so much fun for everybody in the family. It doesn't matter what age you are.
A medieval amusement park, comedy, daredevil antics, and giant roasted turkey legs.
We love the Renaissance Festival.
Jousting nights, men in tights, shopping, music, dance, incredible value, and delicious foods.
We love to come and eat our way through the festival. Amazing things to eat, the turkey legs and the crepes and everything else. It's a highlight of our trip every year.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Discount tickets at Harris Teeter or renfestinfo.com.
Huzzah! Come to the Renaissance Festival.
Get a free Child's Renaissance Festival ticket with coupons. Available at participating Auto Bell and Jersey Mike locations while supplies last.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
28-6 in favor of Hickory Ridge. Here comes McMillan. Vikings have cut the Wonder lead down to 17-9. They got an interception and converted a field goal. Here comes McMillan. Kicks it high and deep and drops it at the 5-yard line. 10, 15, looking for some running room is Wiley. 20 and knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So return it was Marquis Lowry. Spiders remain down 17-14 to Cott's Mill. Robinson has extended its lead to 26-0 over Northwest Cabarrus.
First and 10 for the Ravens from their own 35.
And now they've added yet another Chris Caldwell 51-yard TD dash 33-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
So the Robinson is on their way to another victory.
Yeah. First and 10 out to the 35-yard line, keeping Cruz and Lennon back there. They're stacking quads out to the left side. Oh, early movement by the right tackle. Yeah. I mean, before they had even really gotten to play, they were going to actually, James May was in as another Wildcat quarterback. So they had May and Lennon back there. And the right tackle just fell forward. And that's 5-yard penalty against Rocky River.
The Rocky Rivers really killed themselves, John, on penalties tonight.
And really the only touchdown drive they got was aided by penalties.
Delayed blitz.
May running to the left side and in trouble. Thompson hems him in and brings him down. Nowhere to go for James May. Thompson just eyed him and said, I got this.
Yep.
That's not going to end up very well for many times. So loss of, what about?
3, 4 maybe?
We'll say 3. Second and 13 at their 32-yard line. Keeping May in as Cruz steps back in, looking deep, whips it to the left side, and tipped away at the last moment, making a beat on that ball. I think over there, not Figueroa, but Barnett. It was Figueroa, okay. See, Figueroa is playing on the wrong side for me to see him.
I know he's normally on this side.
3rd and 13. Hickory Ridge trying to clamp down here with 5:03 to go in the third quarter. I guess we're making up for the short game a week ago. This is going to be a longer one.
Yeah. And we'll take it because it's been a pretty good football game.
Dropping back, Cruz under a rush, zips it down the middle, and caught in there, and immediately dropped right at the first down sticks. Larkham Smith brings him down a half-yard too late.
Wow, what a hit.
Ends up being a good play, but the receiver hung on. That was James Battle.
Ball goes right out to the 45-yard line.
So they do move the chains over the middle.
Nice pass, too.
Yeah, and Battle hung on. First and 10 from the 45. Whips it to the right side to May, looking for blocking. Runs it to the right side, hemmed in by Solomon. He's going backwards, looks for a backside block. He's in trouble there, and May brought down finally by Horn and Wallerstadt, and ends up being a yard loss. The play was meant to go right, Chris, but there were about 4 blue jerseys blocking the way.
Yeah, and he took a shot, and he's down.
Yeah, that being James May. Yeah, he's on his back right as he got tackled there. With 4:26 to go. And that's the other thing. We've had a few injuries tonight, a few timeouts for those injuries. So
looks like a cramp.
Stretching out that looks like the right leg. Let's take a really quick break and come back with, again, Hickory Ridge up by 22 on Radio Free Cabarrus and the Cube.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy, with great locations in Concord, Kannapolis, Mooresville, and Charlotte to serve you. They've got free delivery, free shipping, and they can save you money on your prescriptions. Hey, give them a call, or you can go to their website. That's www.cannonpharmacies.com. Cannonpharmacies.com, your hometown drugstore. Great service, friendly people. The people you need to see for free delivery, and your pharmacy is Cannon Pharmacy.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
2nd 11, toss out to Lennon, same play to the right side. He'll get a few yards out that way, and it'll be 3rd and 9 coming up. Again, several tacklers in on that play. May walked off underneath on his own, so that was good. As we mentioned earlier, just a cramp. Initially looked a bit worse than that. Oops, let's turn you up so we can hear you.
Yeah,
Chris,
nobody want to hear me.
Chris, I'm trying to shut you out here.
24-14, Cox Mill over Concord.
Chargers that'd be the first time they've beaten Concord at home. Over the middle and tipped and intercepted again, this time taken, and another interception crossing midfield. Hickory Ridge set up in great field position thanks to Larkham Smith. 2 interceptions thrown by Cruz. That was on a tip pass. In fact, both have been on tip. All 3 interceptions we've seen tonight, tip passes.
Yes. And you could tell, obviously, Coach Robinson down there works on a tip drill in practice with them.
Smith had one, Solomon had another for Hickory Ridge. So already up by 22, getting later 3:28 into this third quarter. And really, if you're the Ragin Bulls, you want to put it away right here.
Yes, you do. Go on, hit Garner, and let him take it to the house.
Setting up split bats here.
They got the same coverage on him. Now they back off.
A low snap again. Trouble. There are problems with that handoff, and Daniels thrown for a big loss back to almost to the 45-yard line. Yeah, that play was just not going from the start. Ends up being a 5-yard loss. 2nd and 15. Back to their own 47-yard line. But Hickory Ridge ready to go again. If everything holds up for them, they'll go to 7-0. But then they got the big trio of Charlotte teams coming up.
And one Union County team. Porter Ridge is Union County, isn't it?
They are. So, all right. So Myers Park, and then, of course, Butler. I guess technically Matthews.
Yeah.
They'll give it straight off. No, Ratliff keeps it. He's hemmed in and no gain as he tries to advance the ball. So 3rd and 15 coming up here for Hickory Ridge. It's kind of a catch-22. The running game's not been super effective for Hickory Ridge, but they do want to get some time off the clock. Sheriff looks like he's bringing in a play along with Cruz. 3rd and, we'll say 14 at their own 48-yard line.
A single back set here, double left, double right.
Now they send Daniels out to the left side where they throw it to him. Yep, out there, one-on-one against the sideline, made some move, gets spun around 50 and knocked out of bounds. So Rocky River recovered pretty quickly on that play and just nothing doing to Daniels.
I figured they'd try to go downfield to either Brooks or Garner.
So a 2-yard pickup, well short of the first down, and out of bounds, stops the clock with 1:52 to go. So Harper will come back and will be ready to punt the ball.
It's going to leave the Bulls with 4th down, and on comes the punt team.
Punt unit out right at midfield. Lowry's back deep inside his 15-yard line. Stacking things up, looks like 8 men on the line for Rocky River. High snapper brought down. A little bit of a rush. There's a high end-over-end kick. It's not going to go very far. Lands takes a high bounce at 30. Lowry gets it and met immediately. Trying to save a little field position, but he paid the price for it. 42 and on that play, Tony Black Jr. So Rocky River will start possession at their 25-yard line. Wasn't a deep punt, but certainly coverage team had plenty of time to get down there. It's the final. Robinson over Northwest Cabarrus, 33-0.
Big win for Robinson.
And that's the thing. Half the teams in the SPC will be 1-0. The other 3 will be 0-1. And kind of a sprint this year instead of a marathon that we've had in recent years. Gives out to Lennon, crosses a 25, Thompson in, and several others. It's like Horn slid in and might have gotten in on that play. And Barnett.
Wallerstedt on the bottom.
Yep. So Lennon with about maybe a 2-yard pickup. Gave him 3, actually. 2nd and 7 out to the 28-yard line. Cruz with Lennon still back there. They'll give it off to Lennon and hit immediately. I mean, may have lost half a yard there. What was the name of that pickup truck? Thompson again?
Number 6 leaning again on the carry for the Ravens.
I think
and Wiley, yeah.
No,
Bulls number 33, Jordan
Horn. Yeah. Diagnosed that quickly.
Well, that Ragin Bull defense is just unbelievably good.
Did give him a yard, though, out to almost the 30-yard line. So 3rd and 5. need to get to just across the 35-yard line. Cruz dropping back, looking left, wants it deep, and one-on-one coverage, and comes back and knocked out. Oh, boy, Lowry took a pop there and jarred the ball loose. Barnett just separated him from the ball, and it's an incomplete.
Coverage by Bulls number 17, Larkham Smith.
And Larkham Smith.
25, Isaac Figueroa.
They give Figueroa credit as well. So it's 4th down, and Rocky River looks like they will go for it.
And Rocky River coach, the defensive coach over there, throwing his headpiece. He wanted pass interference. Looked like to me it was a clean play.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was going for the ball. And you can jar the ball loose, so 4th and 5 from their 30-yard line, kind of a last gasp effort here for Rocky River. Whips it to the left side. Call and thrown backwards. I don't think he got it, but we'll see about the spot. It was a short catch out there to
into the 35.
To Carter, Jared Carter.
It's going to be close. They give him a nice spot on it. Yeah, I
Well,
think he got it.
Yeah.
He got it.
They gave him a real generous spot there. So 1st and 10, and nobody arguing. Into the 3rd.
There goes a flag right there. We got one on the far side.
Was that for the 17-9 Wonders over Vikings at the end of the 3rd quarter. So let's see about the penalty flag. Chains had already been moved for the 1st down. And now Hickory Ridge is backing up. Something must have been said by one of the players, and personal foul will move it to midfield. Didn't like the spot there. And we can guess who it is because they're being substituted for.
Mr. Figueroa.
Saying, okay, you come sit by me for a second. And he's like, mad at himself. Coach is saying, okay, we didn't need that. Cruz sends it to the right side. Oh, looked like he bounced the ball, but yeah, he tried to do a basketball dribble. I was like, did my eyes fool me there? And that was intended for Andre Knotts. And he tried to do a dribble, Chris.
You can't do that. It starts next Friday, though.
We're getting there.
Yep, basketball in Chapel Hill starts next Friday. Late night with Roy.
Yeah. They've already started. They showed some on their Twitter feed, showed some more serious workouts going on.
Yeah, they're going to be really good. People's not giving them props, but they're going to be really good still.
2nd and 10 right at midfield for Rocky River. They'll give it to Lennon, run it to the left side, and it gets thrown backwards by Thompson, and then gets nailed again by Larkham Smith. I mean, it's like Thompson said, I'll hold you up long enough so a teammate can get another, and all perfectly legal plays.
Yeah, they were all with shoulder pads, not helmets.
So that's a 3-yard loss, maybe a 4-yard loss.
Third quarter.
That's into the 3rd quarter. Going Hickory Ridge's way. They're up 28-6 going to the 4th quarter. You're listening to Radio Free Cabarrus in the Cube.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinded.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
4th quarter action set to get underway, and Rocky River, they've just been taking some shots here. Face the 3rd and 14, thank you, Chris. At the 46-yard line. The Wonders scored early in the 4th quarter, pushed the lead to 24-9 against Central Cabarrus.
Do we have any Charlotte scores?
I'll have to do a little looking up. I mean, this is, I guess, technically a Charlotte score, right?
Yeah.
Mint Hill, actually. Rolling out right is Cruz being pursued and caught, but minimal gain out there by Battle as It was once again bringing them down. That's Solomon.
Would that be considered Mint Hill area out in Rocky River?
Yeah, that's Mint Hill. That's what they call their address.
Okay.
4th down, and they're keeping the offensive unit on. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a team go for more 4th downs here. Did give them a yard, 4th and 13. Dropping bats, Cruz. Rolls out right, whips it out that way, and was it caught? Is well short of the 1st down no matter what. Looks like it was incomplete.
No flags.
Nothing doing so. Turnover on downs again for Rocky River. They've completed 1 4th down. I think have missed out on 3 others. Time to get the 50-50. Somebody can have a nice trip or something, or a meal, or whatever the case may be. 1st and 10 for Hickory Ridge at the 47 of Rocky River. Already up by 22 early in this 4th quarter. Ratliff remains in. Daniels, and keeping everybody tight here, including the receivers. And gives it to Daniels running behind those receivers. Steps inside and just not much doing for Daniels. Trying to get a little running game going, trying to get that clock rolling. But Rocky River rolling well to the ball. Maybe a yard out that way. We'll call it 2nd and 9.
Hey, I won.
Knew you back when, Chris, right? At the 47-yard line.
I can't retire for $100.
Well, it's a start, I suppose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twins either way, stacking them up. Low snap, looking right, delayed handoff to Daniels. That's some running room. 40, burst of speed up the middle, got popped at the 30-yard line, but kept those feet churning. And I got to give credit to big number 77 who was blocking way upfield. That's Dalton Haywood. He literally peeled off. As soon as Daniels got hit, he peeled off the would-be tackler and blocked him away from Daniels.
Yeah, I think this guy here led with his head. He put his head down and tried to hit him, and he just run right into his thighs.
Yeah, and so Rocky River player is down. So it's going to be a 20-yard pickup for Daniels.
Nice delay draw.
They've run that play a couple of times. It's a play that's kind of gone away in recent years. You just don't see it that much.
Do we have a flag back here? I think the peel back block, they got him for holding.
Oh, goodness. Tough right there.
Wow. But you have to overcome it. The officials saw what they saw. They made the call on what they saw.
So it was actually a few yards in the backfield, so that's going to end up being about, so I figured this out right, 18-yard penalty.
Yep, looks about like it.
This play was at the 47. Now they're back at the 35-yard line. Rocky River player being helped to his feet. And kudos as that's number 11. That's going to be Khalil Turner, the junior. And again, kudos to the Hickory Ridge staff, the training staff, for being right there and ready to go. But back to the 35-yard line. So they need to get, it's going to be, 2nd and about 27.
Could we hit the Cox Mill 1st and 65?
Well, we got a ways to go.
Yeah, right.
That took several holding penalties, a couple of unsportsmanlike conduct against the coaches to make all of that happen.
Got some pit bull playing now.
See, you're just up on this, Chris. In any music within the last 20 years, I'm just not there. Maybe 30 years. I don't know. So it ends up being an extended timeout for Hickory Ridge. And now they break out with their offensive unit. Solomon is now in as a running back, as they did take Daniels out.
Concord wants to score another field goal. It's 24-17 with 5:15 left.
Yeah, field goals won't cut it.
No, not when you're trailing by 10 or more.
So they do cut it to a touchdown lead. Thinking about it, Ratliff lobs it out to Solomon. He had some running room, 35-40, made some man miss, and keeps charging forward. Oh, he took a shot to the head, I thought. Unintentional, looked like, though. Out to his own 48-yard line, so it ends up being a 13-yard catch and run out that way for Solomon. So he'll play both ways. So gives him a shot here, still 3rd and about 15. at their own 48-yard line and keeps the clock rolling. As Hickory Ridge is up by 22 points. Our one final, Robinson over Northwest Cabarrus, 33-0.
So Robinson's the first SPC team to go 1-0.
Yep. The defending champs there. Solomon goes out to the left side and looking for the blitz and just throws it away to the right side.
And that's the same play they run earlier.
Yeah. Solomon went out to the left as looked like a safety valve. So third down pass is no good. Really nobody out there. So Josh Harper will punt again. Lowry goes back to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, John, one thing a lot of people like to do is criticize officials. And the people that do the criticizing never really officiate the game. They call what they see, and as a team you have to adjust and move on.
Figueroa late coming on. Now he's set to come on for the punt.
Well, we got 9:20 left to go.
So still a bit of time here. Harper.
Oh, nice punt, young
high man. And turns over. And it's going to bounce and jump straight up and take a slight Rocky River bounce at about their own 23-yard line. And really, if this is the story of the game, Chris, it's that this is pretty much where Rocky River started every drive between about the 15 and the 30.
Yeah, and they aided by a couple penalties. You know, they were able to get into the end zone, but they've had horrible field position the whole game.
And certainly a defense as good as the Ragin Bulls here will take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So long sideline huddle here for Rocky River. We'll see if they have anything left. 22 points is not completely out of the realm of possibility.
Well, like we keep saying back, we've seen Concord do it in under 5 minutes.
That was 20 points, of course, but still, same idea. I mean, it's 3 scores.
Same concept.
Faking it. Now lobbed over to the left side and shoots it to nobody. Lowry cut in. The pass was thrown to the outside. Miscommunication there. And it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. So with the penalties, the incomplete passes, the injuries, as I mentioned, it's going to be a wee bit longer game here tonight.
Yep.
So we'll go past 10 o'clock. Gives out to Lennon. He's trying to take out to the right side. It's a little runner and stumbles, but works his way forward and crosses the 30-yard line to about the 31. So he ends up with about a hard-earned 8 yards and makes it a doable third down.
Oh, yeah, 3rd and long, too.
Yeah. Smith in on the play. $175. All right.
I might take a day off of work.
There you go.
6'6",
Long huddle here. Long wait. They don't really huddle. Neither team does. And no men back deep. They're going to give it to Lennon. Lennon hemmed in. And
he may not have got it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close spot.
I mean, really didn't look like he got any forward progress as it was Britton Dover, one of the linemen, making the hit.
Looks like they marked him at about a 33-yard line.
Ooh, another pretty generous spot. And that's close to the first down.
And the officials could be, well, if we give them the first down, we set the box, we keep the clock moving. Or if we got to measure, we stop the clock.
Yeah, so they give him the first down. Oh, high snap, problems, and bounce off Cruz's foot and jumping on his Lennon, but he's in all kinds of trouble, works his way, and he's going to be thrown for a big loss. Really got popped there by several players. And so Lennon, from his own 33-yard line, got it out to the 27-yard line, but it rolled back to about the 20-yard line before Lennon picked it up. So it'll be about a 7-yard loss. 2nd and long coming up.
That's been Rocky River's night, John. Just bad snap or penalties or something's really kept them pent deep.
And they don't have a lot of big play capability to overcome all that. 2nd and 17 from their 27-yard line. Clock ticks down to 7:20. Cruz dropping back. Has time, lobs out to Lennon. Lennon runs to the left side and takes it to the sideline. There's a flag out there. Looks like a block in the back or a hold. And Lennon knocked out at the 31-yard line. Horn popped him out.
The ball boy got his foot stepped on over
there. Connor Helm, actually, correction.
He's walking around over like, where's the training staff?
Come on, give me some help over here.
Look at it down there helping him.
Poor guy.
Like,
I'll walk it off. I'm okay, coach. Really.
One of the reserve players talking about, hey, you might want to move out of the way next time.
Yeah, you'll get a few more games underneath your belt, and it looks like the flag is a hold, and they will set that penalty to back them up a little bit more. So take away what would have been about a 4-yard pickup.
I mean, that's again, penalties killing them.
Back to the 20-yard line. So that's going to be 2nd and 23. So Rocky River will try again here. Wiley lines up as a tackle this time. Faking it, now sends it to the right side. Caught by James May, rather by Lennon. Lennon had some running room, gets turned around, gets the lost yardage back, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage near the 34-yard line. Wallerstadt finally hems him down. And Garrett Williams.
Yeah, Figueroa just over-pursued a little bit on that, and he got past him and found some daylight.
So it makes it a 3rd and 11, better than it was. At their own 32-yard line, need to get to the 43. Cruz dropping back, looking right, pump fakes, whips it that side, and short hops his man. Been right at the first down stitch there for Lowry, but it's incomplete. So will Rocky River go for it again?
They'll have to. I mean, they're down 3 scores with 6 minutes to go.
For 4th and 11. 28-6 in favor of our Hickory Ridge Ragin Bulls. Although I'm sure we got a few Rocky River fans. Hopefully you all tuned in.
Yeah, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. No matter where you're at, on the East Coast, Midwest, or West Coast.
Wonders have scored another touchdown to make it 31-9. Rocky River takes a timeout here to talk about this 4th and long play. Taking one ourselves here on Radio Free Cabarrus.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
You're listening to the High School Cube Game of the Week, powered by Radio Free Cabarrus in Concord, North Carolina.
Emptying out the backfield. It is 4th and 11 for Rocky River at their own 32-yard line. Rolling out and caught and brought down well short of the first down. Battle makes the grab, but it's Wallerstadt bringing them down and well short. Turnover on downs again.
Wow, why do you run that? I guess that was a design play.
Trying to clear out, but you're not going to outrun Wallerstadt out there.
No, he pursues to the ball very well.
So that's like about, 4 times? They're 1 for 5 on 4th down conversions. 1st and 10 at the 38. Now, the one odd thing is Rocky River has run a lot more plays this second half than Hickory Ridge. As Ratliff is 5 for 6 throwing the ball this half. He's thrown for 4 touchdown passes, and he's going to keep it himself and will be close to another first down himself. Dives inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line.
Nice quarterback draw.
Yeah, design play there. Under halfway to go in the 4th quarter. It is 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. And certainly Hickory Ridge has to feel like, go ahead and score here. The game's probably out of reach, but let's make sure.
Yeah, 7 more definitely puts it out of reach.
And people, I'll say the thought after this play about the margin. Gives it off to Daniels. Oh, a big running room, runs it, cuts it back to the middle 20, and he'll have another first down. As Rocky River may be wearing down just a little bit. But you say, well, are you running up the score at this point? In this day and age, no. 22 points, as we mentioned earlier. Again, not likely, but it's not outside, possibility.
Yeah, a 22-point win in high school football nowadays is nothing.
It's solid. It's a good win.
Yes,
You'll take it. Solomon checking in as a running back, it looks like.
Number 7 checks in.
Or is he just checking? So is that a new... Grant Minor is a new wide receiver out there.
New man in the game. Throw it to him, let him get a touchdown.
He's a tall, lanky kid, too. And whistles blow. Play clock was at 0 before the ball was snapped. So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 with 4:54 to go. So Minor, with one play, he's off. I guess he was in for Daniels.
Yeah. It's like, y'all one play, y'all got a penalty. He's going to be in the field house making
They'll be part of the Kangaroo Court. 1 for 1 on penalties.
Yeah.
This is all your fault.
And the teammates over there probably giving him a hard time.
Say, come on. Can't you get him straight over there?
We'll do that when I play. We'll give somebody a hard time. If there's new in the game, we'll give them a hard time.
1st and 15, middle of the field, the 20-yard line. Solomon is the running back here. Whistles blow again. And see. And
set the clock.
Officials saying, okay. Because the clock wasn't really supposed to start, was it?
No.
Not at that point, but they let it go, so give it off to Solomon, straight into the gut of the defense. Pushes his way forward for about 2 yards there. So that's his first carry of the game. Hickory took Nolan Carey, the starting running back, started last week, the sophomore, took a hard hit early on, and since then it's been Daniels doing the bulk of the ball carrying, at least as a running back. Of course, Ratliff keeps it so much himself. Quick snap, they give it to Ratliff, keeps it himself, makes a man miss, gets inside the 15, and goes to the 14-yard line. One of the few times they've gone with the initial play, Chris.
Yes. See if we got an update here. I think we do.
So it looked like the Wonders well on their way to victory. This is probably a Concord score.
Yes, upset alert by Chicad. Coxmill 31, Concord 17.
Ooh, 2-touchdown lead now for the Chargers.
With a minute 49 to go.
That's going to be
almost insurmountable.
All she wrote there. So Daniels in the backfield with Ratliff on the 3rd and 8 play. Looking, now slips it into Daniels, makes a man miss, and then falls forward. He kind of got caught behind a lineman and tried to find his way around, and that allowed 54, A.J. Davis, to catch up. So it ends up being a minimal game for Daniels. Looked like a good play initially.
Yeah, and if you're Hickory Ridge right here, John, you go for this, and if you get it down, don't get the first down. It's still the same thing as a good turnover right here.
Yeah, deep punt. 4th and 6 at the 11-yard line. And the player just he's trying to time the snap count, and poor number 9 just kind of kept on running through. Jalen Sharp. So 4th and 6 becomes 4th and 1 now.
Now they're bringing in the big meat.
Helm is the jumbo big blocker here. Cruz stays in. Garner one-on-one to the right side.
Shotgun power eye.
Yep. On the 4th and short. They'll give it to Daniels. Gets behind, but nothing doing there. That was a 4th down play, and Daniels stopped for no gain. But Rocky River buried deep in their territory with 2:29. That stops the clock. And that's the type of 4th down. We've been picking on Rocky River a lot, and all the times they go for it on 4th down. That's the type of 4th down you usually do go for.
Yeah, you right there, John. Cox Mill has defeated Concord Spiders 31-17.
So the Chargers, after losing, their non-conference 2-4, but they get some turnovers and get the 2-touchdown victory. First time, if I have to double check this, but I think that's the first time they've beaten Concord at Cox Mill.
And is that the first time they've been 1-0 in the conference?
Don't know. I don't think so. I think they've had some other times. You remember their early years; they were quite good.
Yes. And the basketball team's going to be really good this year.
Well, yeah, that we know. Gives it all to Lennon. Lennon dances back to the new running back. Let's get a handle on his number. That's going to be Cooper, who we have seen earlier. And minimal gain for him. Maybe a yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 9. So it looks like Hickory Ridge with a workman-like victory, 28-6, under 2 minutes to go. They'll go to 7-0. Rocky River will go to 1-7. Smith late getting on. They give it to Cooper. Thompson trips him up and then finished off from behind. So Cooper with a couple-yard pickup.
Well, Paul Thompson's been playing really great tonight.
Just so rangy, him and Wallerstadt both.
If you had to give out a player of the game, would it be one individual player or the whole defense?
Yeah, I mean, the whole defense has played really well. 3rd and 7. Tip drills, got a couple interceptions that way. And only the one drive. Quickly out to the left side. Caught by May. May one-on-one, cuts it back inside. Smith forced him that way. Crosses the 15 and gets it out to the 17-yard line. That is enough for a first down, though. Good hustle by James May. He was kind of hemmed in, but found a way out of it. And moves the change for Rocky River. Minute to go in the fourth quarter. And just hard hitting all around. I mean, by both teams, but Hickory Ridge clearly got dialed in against this Rocky River offense. First and 10, problems with the snap, and Cruz forced to fall on it. And oddly enough, that's going to be his first official carry. So one thing they didn't do is they didn't sack Cruz tonight. He's had a couple fumble snaps. That'll be a 2nd and 13 play. If they run the ball, time for one more play if they want to go ahead. Cooper's still back there with Cruz. 3 receivers right. Quick toss out to the right side. And caught out there, but thrown down quickly. And that should be the final play. Again, that catch was Andre Knotts.
Yep, that's going to be it, John.
All right. Solid victory here. Both teams have said that's 0-0. Hickory Ridge, at least offensively, on the strength of 4 touchdown passes for Ratliff, 3 of them going to Garner, and the other to Brooks. Rocky River drops to 1-7, 0-3 in conference. Hickory Ridge is 7-0 and 3-0 in conference, but their 3 toughest tasks. This was just kind of an introductory level, the first 3 victories. Nothing against the 3 teams they've seen so far, but it's going to be a huge step up, starting with Myers Park a week from tonight. Post-game show coming up. Hickory Ridge wins 28-6. We'll look at the second half scoring and look ahead a little bit as you're listening right here to Radio Free Cabarrus.
Get the deal you want on the vehicle you want whenever you want with Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. It's 5 easy steps. You pick and click your vehicle. You estimate the payment, apply for credit, even schedule delivery, all online 24/7 without leaving home. Take the tour and get started now. Shop, Click, and Drive at BenMinded.com. Again, Shop, Click, and Drive, BenMinded.com today.
Wilkinson Funeral Home is proud to offer the very best in personal and professional service to you and your family in your time of need. They're nestled on a peaceful 16-acre hilltop off Branchview Drive in Concord, and a full-service funeral home that recognizes the importance of tradition and faith, and they strive to create services as unique as your loved one. They also offer a variety of options for pre-planning. You can relieve your family of the burden of making those decisions in a time of emergency. Call Wilkinson Funeral Home 704-786-3168.
Kick your boring lunch to the curb with Pizza Hut's unlimited lunch buffet. Dive into limitless pizzas straight from the oven and rich Tuscany pastas. And don't forget the crisp salads and freshly baked desserts. Your favorites are always hot, delicious, and ready when you are. So send the cold cuts packing and head to the unlimited lunch buffet. Not valid for delivery. Dine-in or carry-out varies by location. Lunch times, prices, buffet selection, and participation may vary.
Your hometown drugstore is Cannon Pharmacy, with great locations to serve you with free delivery. They're in Mooresville, 2 locations in Kannapolis, 1 location in Concord, and 2 locations in Charlotte. CannonPharmacies.com to get all the details. Of course, Cannon Pharmacy is your hometown drugstore. Cannon Pharmacy is your Medicare navigators. They can get your questions answered, and they can save you money. That's Cannon Pharmacy. Find out all the details, CannonPharmacies.com.
Read all about it in the Independent Tribune. That's your hometown newspaper. The Independent Tribune, independenttribune.com, features local news, features, and everything you want to know about Cabarrus County and Southern Rowan County. And, of course, they're published on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The unifying voice of Greater Cabarrus County is the Independent Tribune. Of course, lots of special features online at the Independent Tribune, including some video from time to time. To subscribe, call 704-789-9162.
The Renaissance Festival is back! October 1st through November 20th. A medieval amusement park, a 12-stage theater, odds, crafts, a jousting tournament, and a feast for all. Find out more at renfestinfo.com.
No one does high school sports coverage like Mark Clemens and John Von Cannon, and it's right here on your hometown station. RadioFreeCabarrus.com.
On the post-game show, Hickory Ridge scoring each of the first three quarters. No scoring in that fourth quarter. It was enough, 28-6 over Rocky River as Hickory Ridge led 14-0 going to the half. Rocky River was turned away in the third quarter, and then it was Ratliff with a fade pass to the left side of the end zone to Jalen Brooks, 17 yards out. Good to see him get a catch there. And with the extra point, it was 21-0. And Rocky River's only sustained drive, really, of the night, aided by a couple of penalties against the Hickory Ridge Ragin Bulls, and Cruz threw to Sharp from 9 yards out. The extra point was a blot, and at that point, it was 21-6.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for there. And then we thought we had a big play there from Ratliff to Garner. Thought it was 77 yards. It turns out he stepped out at about the 14-yard line, but they worked their way back, and they got the touchdown to Garner anyway on a 9-yard pass, a little shorter pass, and that ends up pushing the score with the extra point, 28-6, and finishes the night for Ratliff with 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Garner. Overall, Dylan Ratliff, 11 for 18, the 4 TDs, 1 interception off a tip pass, 185 yards. So he's definitely the strength of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, he stepped up when the starting running back went down. You know, he took it upon himself to, get the Cox Mill, offensive attack going.
Or Hickory Ridge.
I'm sorry, Hickory Ridge, running offensive attack going. But how about, Garner? Just showing why he's a defensive Division I college, athlete. But you got to give it to Hickory Ridge tonight. Their defense just come out and dominated from the tip to the end whistle. I mean, they dominated. I mean, they pinned Rocky River, from the 15 to the 25-yard line most of the night. If you can do that and you keep them down there, you're going to win a football game.
Yeah, I mean, they got a strong kicking game, so they can pretty much nail it down almost every time down there. And running game it was going to need a little bit of work. Curie was on crutches. Doesn't look like it. I hope it's not too serious, but hopefully that's just a precautionary measure over there. And so that's something that against the good defensive teams, it may be pass only for Ratliff and that team. Certainly they're capable, but still you would like to have multi-dimensional options there.
Yeah, I mean, in football, the run sets up the pass sets up the run. You got to have both to be successful. And I think till they get their full running, full game, a lot of running backs back, you're going to see the way it was tonight. And I think they're going to fare fairly well against the big three in this conference. May not be able to beat them, but they'll fare well.
And it starts with Myers Park a week from tonight. So that's on the road in the Charlotte area. It's certainly one of the older high schools, as we mentioned, Garinger being in that group as well. But it's going to be, it gets for real, as they say, from this point on for Hickory Ridge. 7-0, that's nice. But now, you got the big boys coming up, particularly Myers Park and Butler back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, Myers Park, nobody really – people know about Myers Park, but they're more the Butlers, the Mallard Creeks. Butler's going to present a bigger challenge than anybody with that potent running game they have. I mean, they're going to cram it down your throat. And that'll test that Hickory Ridge defense. But, John, like I say, I think Hickory Ridge can handle the pressure of these 3 games. We'll see, though. We'll see how good they really are. And I think they're a playoff contender team.
All right. So, final from Cox Mill, it is or pretty close. It was Cox-Mill 31, Concord 17. A bit of a surprise there, as a lot of turnovers, it sounds like, for Concord, and they were not able to overcome that and had to settle for field goals quite a bit. So Cox-Mill gets on the 1-0 side of things. J.M. Robinson, no problem with Northwest Cabarrus, 33-0. Last we checked, the Wonders really in Central Cabarrus, 31-15, and obviously that was again late in that game as well. So that's and that's going to be, it's going to be the Wonders. What we got? Wonders, Robinson, and Cottsville at 3-0. The three teams going 1-0 in the SPC.
And those are probably two out of the best three teams in that conference.
Yeah.
With Robinson and Kannapolis being, I think, the top two at that team or at that conference. Mix in a Concord or a Central Cabarrus, for that 3-4 spot. But, anything can happen in football. That's why you strap it up on Friday nights and go get it. I mean, it really does. But we just got to see one of the best teams in our area play, and they're going to be good for a very long time. Yeah,
certainly with those receivers and Ratliff doing a great job and the defense doing a great job. So, they'll win you a lot of games. Special teams pretty stout as well. So, got some injuries to work through, and the running game will need some help. Those are the areas of concern, I'm sure, if you're Coach Seidel and staff there. But, they got to be excited at 7-0. Myers Park 6-1. Not sure who they lost to. But so that may be, if you want to vote for some of those games of the week on the TV stations, that may be the one that you try to look at.
Yeah, I mean, who could pass that up? Two of the best teams in the state going going at it. I mean, it's going to be one of them old-fashioned barnyard slobber knockers.
Slobber knocker.
Yeah, that people's going to get out there and want to see. And that game definitely will be won in the Battle of the Trenches. That's going to be one of those that's going to be a smash mouth type game.
Yeah, and the guys we mentioned, I keep wanting to give credit to the offensive line. I mean, Andrew Jones and Nicholas Habjanek and Grayson Lewis, Dalton Haywood, all in there, doing a good job. Who did I miss? Connor Kelly is the other guy I found in there. So the 5 offensive linemen for Hickory Ridge, give them credit. Certainly held things up and kept it rolling here. And really, I don't think Ratliff was sacked a couple times early on running plays, but I don't think he was truly sacked once you got deep into the ball game.
No, I don't think. I think they had both of them in the first half, but with his elusiveness, all he's got to do is cut back, and his linemen know where he's going to be at, and they protect him. I'm sure he takes them over here to the Subway and buys them a sub sandwich, or takes them down to the QT and buys them something down to QT every time they protect him. So they're probably real good friends.
All righty. Again, our final score from Harrisburg, Hickory Ridge, 28, and Rocky River 6. We'll let you know. Of course, always tune in to RadioFreeCabarrus.com, and we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, so tune in there for our upcoming games, and certainly throughout the SBC, certainly following this Hickory Ridge team wherever we can. We'd love to have you on board and, let us know what you would like to hear from us. Big thanks to Chris and to Mark and Perry, Shaked, and all that whole game. And again, for all the folks at Radio Free Cabarrus, John Von Cannon, remind you our final score, Hickory Ridge wins tonight, 28-6. Good night, everybody.
Good night.